Hello, everyone. Welcome to another watch party. It's me, Captain Logan, and joining me, as almost always, is Austin the Day Ghost. And tonight, we're going to watch the 1990 two-hour Flash pilot. Of course, without the commercials, it'll be less than 2 hours. But, Austin, thanks for joining me, man. Are you ready to watch some Flash?
I am, yeah. It's only an hour and a half. Is it 2 hours on Max?
No. When I said 2-hour pilot, I just meant like.
Okay, that's
with
what
commercials
I figured,
back in the day.
Like,
that's why I said.
I'm just making sure.
That's why I said without commercials, it'll be shorter.
Yeah, but I didn't think it was like half an hour. But I'm just making sure.
Yeah, no, that's how that works, Austin. That's basic math.
I'm in Canada. We don't have TV yet.
Because you have an episode of something that's 42 minutes long without commercials, and then when you add that together, it's a little less than an hour and a half.
Yeah. I know that with like 22 minutes and 40 minutes, but I don't know, 2 hours work. It's too much time. It's too much math.
Anyway, so Austin, when I was growing up, I watched this a few times, and I don't remember how exactly. We didn't have it in any way, I don't think, so I must have maybe rented it at a rental store a couple times. It was on a VHS tape. It was put out like a lot of TV pilots like a movie. And sometimes you'd get pilots that didn't go to series but still got a release, and then you get something like this where I think for the longest time I actually thought this show had a TV, was made as a movie that aired on TV, and then they went ahead and took it a series, which isn't how this worked at all, but the presentation of that tape really made it feel like that. And so I don't know if I ever actually watched any other episodes of this show until I got it on DVD a lot of years later. And I've watched most of, if not all of this at this point, but it's been like a decade, so I don't remember it super well. But anyway, so the only things I really remember from the show are the pilot and the Trickster stuff. With Mark Hamill.
The Trickster seems to be like the main thing everyone talks about because it's Hamill.
Yeah. And I was kind of on the fence about going ahead and watching maybe that episode after this too. If we can go ahead and get into this, we feel like it when we're finished, maybe we'll go ahead and tack that on too.
Yeah, it's up to you. It doesn't bother me either way.
We could take a break right after and go ahead and look at that. I didn't watch that in preparation for this, so that'll be totally blind, and Austin's never seen it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know very, very little about this show.
So, once again, 1990, this is John Wesley Schipp. As a lot of folks will know, he comes back to play multiple characters, like so many actors did in the CW Flash show. We now live in a universe where what was at one point just a short-lived, and yet still, I think 26 episodes, 24, 26. I did get a full season. I think you even thought this. A lot of people remember this as only 12 or 13 episodes, but no, it got a full season for the time.
Yeah, I assumed it was like 9 to 13. Like, I assumed it was like, oh, this isn't working. Cut it right now. It's done.
But yes, we do live in a universe now where we used to only have this short-lived Flash show that was very strange that it even existed. Like, this is the DC thing we made right after Batman 89 and attempted it in something of the style of Batman 89. We'll talk about the very odd tonal juxtaposition with the show, but with the pilot in particular. But then now there are 9 seasons of arguably more popular show. I say arguably. It certainly was at the beginning. It was relative, for the CW, a very big show for them. And
yeah,
they kept it on.
A popular show because it continued, but
they kept it on almost as long as Smallville.
Yeah, which is crazy.
So, Austin, did you manage to watch any of this?
So yeah, I watched. I think at least like half of it. I wasn't able to finish it, but I've seen at least like the first little bit.
Okay, so you haven't seen the rousing ending yet.
Yeah, exactly.
But did you get to Flash's kind of girl in the chair?
Yes, that's the last scene I
You
remember.
met her.
Is a scene where they're running around the track.
Okay.
And she's like doing her oracle-y stuff.
Yes, that's the big scene I remember from when I was a kid. For some reason, that always really stuck with me.
Interesting. Were you really excited when we did people in the chair in like everything CW?
No, not really. It felt routine already at that point because of Arrow. It was sort of like we were just transposing that from Arrow to Flash, but now we have the same thing except it's more lighthearted, and he's not wrestling with whether or not to kill his villains every episode. He's just illegally putting them in his own private prison.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I had this comic I was writing where the main hero had like a team of people that were like computer people, and I was like, oh, that's such like a cool idea. No one's ever done that. And then
Now that's all we do.
Like 2 years later, there was like 6 CW shows that all had that, and I was like, yeah, this sucks.
To be fair, you certainly have gotten it a lot more in comics, and it's even a lot earlier before this. Sometimes we would use Alfred that way. We use him that way a lot now, of course.
The main thing I thought of as a teenager was that we always do one person. So like what I had in that comic was like there's like group of people that all have like their individual things that they do.
And now we have Team Flash and Team Arrow and
Team Supergirl and Team Canceled now.
Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Well, and of course, you've got it with Ned Genki leads in the Spider-Man movies.
Well, at least it's just like a joke in Homecoming, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, that's true. They don't keep. I mean, they go back to it a little bit. Like he's a little sidekicky, but he's not always running point from. Anyway, I don't know why we're talking about this right now.
Yeah,
let's go ahead and watch this pilot. I'm very interested to see Austin's response, especially to some of the wacky stuff with the end of this. We get muscle chest suit. That'll be fun. I think that's part of the reason that I remember the track scene is just the goofiness of that muscle chest. I think even when I was a kid, like 7 or 8, looking at that, I was like, it just looks very padded.
I always just think back to that to the Mr. Plow episode of The Simpsons where they meet Adam West, and he's talking about Michael Keaton Batman, and he's like, when I was Batman, I didn't need the like muscle plastic outfit. That was pure West.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get into this since Austin doesn't have any memories or anything from this. Austin, did you watch very much of the CW show?
So I started halfway through season 1 and then finished halfway through season 2. And that's like the stuff that people like, and even then I don't think that stuff's very good. I'm very much on the opinion that the CW shows at their best aren't good, and like that's kind of the best they can be, and then at their worst they're really bad.
Yeah, and of course, you and I feel somewhat differently about them. I guess my standards or expectations are in a different enough place because I was so big into Smallville, and you couldn't even handle the pilot of that show. And I found like that's a make or to break it thing. Like my wife can't watch CW stuff either because, well, she actually liked the first season of Arrow, okay, surprisingly. But
show her Batwoman though, because Batwoman's the only good show the CW. Sorry. Batwoman and Riverdale are the only 2 good comic book shows the CW have ever had.
I think Barry Allen's 2-part introduction in the second season of Arrow is legitimately quite good and some of the best material they had. And like one of the better backdoor pilots I've seen for anything. So yeah, I do hold some of that stuff in a higher regard. But like I was into Arrow enough to like collect Black Canary, and like I've got characters I really latched onto and liked a lot. But
yeah, I've never seen season 2 of Arrow, which is the one that people say is the best. But I didn't like season 1.
At least the first half.
Yeah.
Kind of goes downhill after that.
Most of season 3 though, because my uncle was really into it, and I was like, man, this show
that lost me by the first episode. And part of that's because they killed off my favorite character, and then when they brought her back, she was never the same again. Okay, let's get into there. How about we talk for 10 minutes before getting into this?
That's what we do.
Everybody strap in. This is about 1 part longer than it needs to be. Here we go. Make sure at timestamp 0 past any menus if you've got DVDs, or I don't know if this got released on Blu-ray, but if you've got discs. And I put in a link, if you'll scroll up in the live comments for the for a free YouTube video that you can watch for this show, and it's upscaled to 1080p. I haven't actually looked at it, so I don't know if it looks very much better, but it claims to be. And there's a few fan upscales lately that have been really, really good. Both the first two Tick series have been done that way recently, and really impressed with whoever's doing those. But anyway, so hopefully this is that good, but I'm watching it on disc, and I should be watching it that way. It'll probably look better because there's a little bit of interlacing on the disc, but at least I noticed that in the menu. I didn't notice it while I was watching the actual show. But yeah, it's not on Max or anything. I think it is for rental in Amazon and places. But let's go ahead and get into it. Timestamp 0. Make sure you're watching the pilot, and we're gonna start as soon as I say no. Are you good, Austin? Here we go.
Yep.
All right. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put up a timer. So if anybody needs a timestamp, just let me know. Everybody, please press play right now. Austin, one of my favorite bits in the pilot. I don't know if you made it that far. You probably didn't. There's a bit when he's deciding what his costume is going to look like, or actually before that, where he's like, the villain has a symbol he's leaving everywhere. And I want revenge on him, and I've got a symbol too. And he acts like it's really dramatic and intimidating, and it's just the lightning bolt from the beginning of the show, so it looks really positive and happy. And he's just like, "Here's my like he's Batman or something."
Yeah,
it's spectacular.
Tell your friends about me. I'm the Flash.
So Austin, right away, how do you feel about just the presentation of this? The kind of almost like neo-noir aesthetic, the like, because I look at this as very RoboCop inspired.
Yeah, it is. I can see that. I think it's funny that you get the kind of '89 city shot at the beginning, but it's not really a stylized city.
But only in the they're shooting on backlots and stuff. Like, I don't know if they actually did a matte painting or anything, but the way they're lighting it and stuff, it's pretty stylized.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate all the accent lights and stuff.
Mm-hmm. No, they're definitely trying to make it look like '89. It's just, I just mean, like, when you see the full city shot, it doesn't have that same kind of timeless feel. It's just, here is a city.
Well, I wasn't paying close enough attention to that. The bombs that our villain has are very odd because they look like kryptonite.
Well, they just look like bouncy balls that are like glow in the dark.
I wonder if they actually bounce. Like, they explode, but they bounce. Like the props.
That would be a legitimately fun thing for the Flash to fight, where there's like a ball that's like constantly bouncing that really fast that's going to explode.
That's true.
Gotta catch it.
But yeah, like all this kind of red accent lighting in front of City Hall and stuff. Like, I appreciate the attempt on a budget to be as stylized as we can. It's almost as it doesn't
look bad.
It's almost as Dick Tracy-ish as it is Batman. And obviously, Dick Tracy was greenlit and very inspired by that movie to some degree as well. But
I was about to say, it's now that you say that, it's probably a bit more Dick Tracy even than RoboCop. But was that movie out at this point?
I think it's the same year or just after that.
Okay,
so it definitely couldn't have
really
influenced this, but it's in a similar vein.
Yeah, I mean, they're all looking at the same stuff.
But yeah, there's a very strange juxtaposition with all of this because, I mean, it's almost anachronistic with the initial concept of the Flash and the way this guy is usually, even Barry Allen, the way this guy is usually characterized, and even like what time period we're in, because it's sort of like '89, where I think it's supposed to be, timeless and a little bit ambiguous about time, but when we're just inside buildings and things, it doesn't feel anything like as stylized as it does when we're outside. And so you have to kind of keep reminding yourself, we've got this city that is totally under siege. It feels almost dystopian with this gang that's trying to take over the way it is. And it's very, very comic booky. But then you get into these kind of talking scenes, and it feels like we're just in any like primetime drama in the late 80s, early 90s.
That is true too, and that gang almost has like a Mad Max kind of thing going on because they're all on bikes.
Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm. It is. This show is just late 80s. The show is what we're getting at.
RJ Godzilla, Dick Tracy was 1990. I thought it was. RoboCop 2 was also 1990 as well. Everybody's talking about music. Of course, we got to bring that up obligatorily, but it's Shirley Walker doing the score, but she is basically ghostwriting for Danny Elfman, who actually wrote the theme, but he's not doing any more of the score. And she might go her own way a little bit more as the series progresses, because I don't remember what other episodes sound like, but this pilot is all 89 with, and I don't mean that she's ripping melodies, but it's just like so inspired by that to the point where it might as well be that score. And it feels like Darkman and 89, where it feels almost like a third Elfman score where he's just doing exactly the stuff he did in those again. But it's not actually him, it's Shirley Walker. So it's like, well, it's almost like somebody told her, like, make sure we can't tell it's you. Make sure everybody thinks that you're Elfman. Because there are scenes where my mind just goes to specific moments in 89 where I'm like, oh, this should be this scene.
And it's interesting because then she gets to do Batman, obviously, which has a Danny Elfman theme, but it doesn't.
And like, then she gets to do her own thing with it.
And then it also doesn't. Like, it does go more its own way.
Yep. Yeah, even that theme, it's got different syncopation and motifs in it. There is a difference. So Barry Allen's brother's name is Jay, which is weird.
Why is that weird?
Because of Jay Garrick.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking of that. Yeah, absolutely. And funny that Wesley Schipp then later on gets to play Jay Garrick.
He gets to play Barry Allen's father and Jay Garrick from another universe who look the same for no good reason.
Well,
it's
and he gets to play this version of the Flash later on.
Yes, and he also plays this Flash. Yep, all three of those things. And it's stunt casting every time. It's almost like they went, well, we never really expected to do Jay Garrick, but now that we're doing that, it's too cool not to have John Wesley Schipp play him, even though we've already got him in other stunt casting.
Yeah, it would be like if in Superman Legacy, Henry Cavill was Jor-El, Pa Kent, and also his version of Superman comes in later.
The Senior Six says it's a reference, so meh. What's weird is there are two Jay Garrick references, because there's a street or something later on that's called, like, Garrick Avenue or something.
Oh, okay. I mean, it is cool that they're referencing that.
Well, like I said, that's part of what makes it feel weirdly anachronistic is it feels like it ought to be a thing that just wants to be Batman so bad that they take the name and the power and nothing else, but that's not true. They're actually, Iris West is here, Linda Park is here. There's a surprising amount of actual Flash character and lore in this. And I don't know if we ever actually end up calling it the Speed Force later in the series. I don't remember that. So I'm not sure how far we get with the lore. That wouldn't exist
at this point.
Oh, would it not?
No, because that comes in Wade. Isn't Wade like?
You know what? I knew that. I'm very spotty and rusty when it comes to the Flash, but yes, we talked about this.
I only know that because of Spencer and Dan. So
well, and I think we talked about it when we reviewed Born to Run.
Probably, but like it's not. It's hinted at there, but it's not even introduced there yet. Too.
But that's what I'm saying. I think we talked about that whole thing when we reviewed it because of that. Yeah. Daniverse, the funny thing is they went with Barry, who had been dead in the comics for years. And I think that's probably because of the cop investigating angle. You know,
that's really easy to do in episodic TV.
Yeah, and police procedurals are popular, and it's a real simple way to tell singular, like you said, episodic stories week to week.
Yeah, and you can get into some of that grittier crime stuff like 89.
Yeah, that's how they justify this tone.
Yeah.
Which it loses as it goes along. And by the end, it gets a lot sillier and hokier and more comic booky, and frankly, more like what you would expect. The tone for a Flash show if you've read any Flash. There are weird murals in the background all over this pilot. You've got them here in this laboratory, and you've got them. Maybe it's just everywhere in the police department. Now that I'm thinking about it, because
it's like they filmed in a college and they had they made this up into a little lab.
Well, they intentionally put a bizarre mural though in police headquarters itself.
That was also a college, but not the same college.
Oh, okay. But maybe done by the same artist.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Barry's sidekick. I wish he got more screen time, and I'm not sure how much he gets to do in the rest of the show because I just don't remember.
Well, this guy's got a crazy shirt.
Yes, he does. It's the most dated. It's one of the most dated things here. But I like how snarky he is.
The like clown, the like the mime music.
This transition, yes, I thought was really silly, where it's like we're trying to be really artsy and we're showing that time is passing, and so the director goes, I don't know who directed this, but the director goes, let's find something interesting to focus on. I know, just this light in the ceiling. That was a choice. But yeah, I like the shade that he throws. I forget his name, but his sidekick here. The shade he throws at Linda Park at the beginning, where she's like, "We've got to go interview some real cops," and he goes, "It would be nice if we could find a real news anchor. You were on the Home Shopping Network last week." That's pretty good. This is very hit and miss with its writing. For every line that I think is hokey and silly and I'm scratching my cranium, there's another line that I'm like, no, that's good, that works. It is 50-50.
The big thing that I like about this is just that I find it interesting that we get to see a Flash adaptation that's not just Wally West, that's called Barry Allen. Like, he isn't just talking about brunch and stuff.
Yes, because after this, you're right. We keep making it. This is to a point that you made when we were talking earlier off camera. But you said, he's. I want to give you credit for this. You said he's usually like a blend of the two characters. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it feels like Wally West almost straight up with not any Barry Allen at all in it, but we call him Barry. Didn't we do that in? People tell me if I'm wrong, because I may just not be remembering this right. I think we kind of did that in the Justice League cartoon, right?
Well,
Isn't that a Barry Allen Flash, or is that Wally West?
That's Wally West.
Oh, is it? Okay. I just didn't remember.
So this is something I've talked about quite a bit. I don't think ever on the channel, but one of the interesting things with Legacy
Real quick, the lightning effect
like
there is actually kind of effective. I think it actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's not realistic or anything, but like it doesn't look super goofy, and I like when the light goes out when it's totally black. You still see the electricity fusing, like going through his body. Sorry, I didn't want to get too far past it.
That's okay.
But yeah, go ahead.
The interesting thing I find with Legacy heroes is that we never just adapt them the way they are in the comics. We always hybrid them, because Green Lantern's got that too. Ghost Rider's got that. Flash obviously has that. So that is like a thing that we do for
Tim Drake with Jason Todd. We just talked about that with Return of the Joker last week.
Yeah, absolutely. So this guy, the guy that was doing that whole thing,
his father.
Yeah, his father.
He's like, I had these. It reminds me of when I got slugs in me, because everything's about me. I'm an important cop, and that's a lot of the source of Barry's motivation and character arc, is that his father and the police force at large doesn't take him, he feels, seriously enough, because he's not actually out in the field. And so I think that's supposed to be part of the motivation for why he continues to be the Flash by the end, is that now he even in disguise can go out and fight crime instead of just being an unsung hero.
Yeah, I know that guy is being the main actor in my least favorite episode of Tales from the Crypt. So
Oh.
when he shows up, I was like, "Oh no!" But then it was okay.
I've definitely seen him and stuff.
Yeah, he's just one of those character actors that show up in things.
And we haven't gotten to her yet, but I think the girl that is kind of the right-hand man for the villain in this is Sarah Silverman. Or if it's not, she sure looks and sounds just like her.
I have to keep an eye out for that.
Let me double check and see if I'm wrong. Maybe it's not her, but it sure.
Don't look it up. I want to see now that you've said it. If
I'm gonna double check here.
Okay, but don't tell me. I'm gonna eyeball it.
I'm not seeing her name anywhere, so maybe I'm.
You told me.
Totally off here. What now?
I said don't.
Well, I still don't know for sure.
Okay, fair enough.
Wait, Jerry Ryan was in this show somewhere?
Yeah, that's your Sarah Silverman.
Crazy. No, it's not. Shut up. Oh, Bill Mummy was in this show somewhere. Interesting. And Jeffrey Combs.
You know what? There's a little bit of Darkman in this, and that there's some Spider-Man in this part of the score. And that's a big thing I have with Darkman is that it's 89 and Spider-Man.
Oh, that's weird because Elfman's not actually writing this.
Yeah. There's some like Spider-Man 3 symbiote stuff in this bit of the score, I think.
So the Dark Riders gang is in, and it's so crazy I'm about to say this phrase, is in a low-rent version of the Foot Clan hideout from the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah, well, it's like that, but if it was in a college instead of an arcade.
Okay, so if this isn't Sarah Silverman, she sure looks and sounds a lot like her.
Turn the camera so I can see.
I'm almost positive it's not, and everybody's gonna think I'm crazy for thinking that.
Oh, but this guy though, when I first saw him, I was like, this guy. Oh, it was. Now I'm blanking on the thing that I thought he looked like, and I'm not even seeing it looking at him now.
No, I was wrong. Oh, you're right, RJ Godzilla. That is Sadia Gomez from TNG. I still don't know what the actual actress's name is. That's probably partly why I was conflating her, though, because Sarah Silverman is in a Star Trek episode, and I kept being reminded of that. But no, it's the girl in Q who spills hot chocolate all over Picard in engineering. That's who that is.
And this guy is Michael Bolton.
Yes, Ensign, it's all over me.
I have been spilt on. I am Picard.
That happened. And then she's in one more episode after that, but we never see her again.
Oh,
that's really funny. And that would have been right around the same time as this, because that's season 3. So that would have been just before this. That's season 2. So that would have been a couple years before this.
Yeah, because I've seen that episode.
Around 89. Oh, you have?
Yeah.
That's a great
episode.
episode.
A while ago, but I have seen that episode.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. Daniverse and Elfman didn't do Spider-Man 3. That's right. I always have to be reminded of that.
Mm-hmm. No, that's one of the things that's interesting, is that this isn't Elfman and nor is Spider-Man 3.
So our villain here gets this very theatrical, dramatic entrance in the score, but not in the way it's shot. Like the camera stays real far back, and the score is like da 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 da, scary bad guy, kind of triumphant, scary bad guy, and then he walks out, and I'm like, zoom in on him, give him a close up. Like, what are we doing?
Well, I was too distracted by they have like the Japanese flag, but it's bleeding.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
And this guy, he looks like one of the Batman the Animated Series like made up villains. Like he's a male version of Red Claw.
That's true.
You just go, oh, this guy sucks. He also looks like he could be an extra in Waterworld.
That's true.
Actually, sorry, not an extra, like a stunt double.
A lot of 90s and probably 80s pilots too, honestly, in like the sci-fi or the superhero type vein, or even like, you know, action vein, tend to have really generic villains for their pilots that you will not remember past this.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds okay on paper where he's supposed to be a police officer that's disgruntled because of class warfare, and he doesn't think that the state takes good enough care of the homeless and the downtrodden in the city. And I don't remember what exactly, because it's not memorable. Also, those are the worst tattoos I've ever seen.
Oh, they're terrible.
Yeah, that's really bad.
And he's got like a Michael Jackson glove.
They look like he penciled them on his face.
They stenciled them.
Yeah, like with a number 2 pencil. He was taking a Scantron test and he just went, tattoo time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm impressed that there are villains in this show, because that was that was not a given for comic book TV shows for a long time.
No, that's true. Even if the main character had a costume, very often the villains wouldn't. And this guy doesn't exactly have a costume, but he at least sort of has a villain look, where he's got crazy stuff on his face. And
yeah, like he is like a supervillain. And later on, we will get like at least the Trickster. I don't know.
And Captain Cold. And
oh, okay. I didn't know if they did Captain Cold. That's
so
awesome.
I'm jumping around now, but
and that's just cool.
Well, but it's preposterous.
Yeah, but it's awesome.
So he has this speech, right, where he's like, I can't remember what he's referencing, but he's like, is it Genghis Khan? He's like, in ancient times, they would, because somebody betrayed him there, and he's like, they would put the person that betrayed you on a horse, and then fate would decide, your destiny, what would happen to you, and you just like it would ride off, and you'd see what would happen to you. And that's not at all what he did with that guy. He put him on a motorcycle, and somehow the motorcycle stayed upright, even though there was nobody riding it. Yeah, and then he put a bomb on it, and then he sent it off into a tunnel, and it exploded. That's not at all what he was, like, the metaphor doesn't remotely work.
Well, no, because a motorcycle is a modern-day horse, and then outside of that...
Yeah, but he put a bomb on it. He didn't just send it on its way. Sorry, what?
So because it was cool.
Oh, okay. And then let nature run its course. It's not what happened.
If a guy walks out and he looks like he's wearing that outfit and he's got those tattoos, you just know he's going to quote Genghis Khan.
We also do make the laboratory that he's working with to become the Flash Star Labs, just like it is in the TV show and in the other TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So like they are taking comic stuff. That was something I had kind of forgotten.
More than we did back then.
Say again?
So that's more than we did back then. Like that is pretty cool.
Very often, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and in some ways, this is even more authentic to the source material than Arrow, because they didn't feel the need to rename things for no reason. It wasn't like Central-ish City.
Centraling City.
Centraling City.
Yeah. That and, like, I don't know, like, obviously it's very 89, but, like, it works better, I think, than the Nolan stuff with Arrow. I don't know.
Well, because at least, and like I said earlier, it does feel a little bit anachronistic, at least if you're familiar with the comics at all. But, yeah, the running effects are wonderful.
Yeah.
They never land on anything great for that. Like, it took Smallville even a good long time to figure out how to make that look good. And
I mean, even the CW can't. Like, even the movies can't, because Ezra Miller running looks terrible. So, to be fair,
it's not an easy thing to make believable, but you'd think that we've tried it so much that even by 1990, maybe we would have landed on something a little bit better than just speed up the footage.
Yeah, I think it gives a charm to it that it's
that's
funny.
True. No, that's fair. There's no excuse now when it's not. I mean, and not that we press fast forward at this point, but
well, and the good thing too is that he was the only person in the shot. In the second of the Red Brown Captain America movies, there's a part where they do that, but he's in a crowded beach.
The backgrounds with those shots are really silly, and And to avoid that, because they know it doesn't look great, more often than not, we'll do a first-person POV view. Where we speed up the footage, but it's just like a camera on a dolly driving.
Well, it probably saves money, too.
Yes. Exactly.
Well, now he's just, like, on the set of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
But real quick, I was going to say... I think what... Yeah, there you go. Doesn't that look great? Look how grainy it is, too. Like, look how... blurred out his face is.
But I will take this over the same shots that the CW do, where it's just Grant Gustin being like, and it looks terrible. I will take that because that's funnier.
So yeah, but the problem you were talking about a minute ago with Oliver Queen just kind of being Batman, and they're trying to make those like Nolan Batman the series, even though like tonally the villain plot and shooting so much of it at night and doing a more kind of noirish Central City and all of that, the character himself isn't just 89 Batman. He is more...
We've kind of lost some of that, like since we've been in the day and like been on the beach and stuff. Like we've lost a little bit of that 89 in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, but every time we go back to the villains, it'll come back.
No, I'm sure it will. But what I mean is like, Arrow doesn't have that at all. Like
That's true.
I get the sense that the people working on this liked the Flash and wanted to adapt the Flash.
Yeah, exactly.
And it wasn't like, hey, can we do Batman? No, you can do Green Arrow.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you is, do you think looking at this that there was a mandate to make it as much like tonally and aesthetically Batman as possible, working with maybe a script that was written already, or just going to this material they landed on things they liked and used that? Or do you think that that's just so in the air right then that they're naturally influenced by it as they're adapting this?
Okay, as you gave me more options, it's probably a mix of them.
Yeah.
But I would be willing to bet...
Sorry, it takes me a long time to make any point.
No, it's okay. I would be willing to bet that some of the 89-ness in this is producer mandated, as opposed to Arrow, which feels like the opposite. Where they just want to do Batman and the producers say, no, you can do Green Arrow, so they make it more Batman.
I don't really know the origins of the show. I don't know if this started.
I don't know either.
With something of a different pitch or something. But like, the Flash seems like a weird with DC's whole stable. It feels like a weird place to go if what you want to make is a gritty crime drama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that is true.
And so again, it is like tonally. What's weird is I don't even want to say it's tonally confused. I think it sort of works. I just think it's kind of counterintuitive.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is also,
and they do get away from it as it goes along.
And it is interesting in that some of the big stuff that like are defining that we think of as the Flash haven't come out yet. So
no, but I thought it was weird at the time.
No, and it definitely is. Like, I'm not trying to downplay that.
Yeah.
But I just mean, like, I wonder back then, like, how much weirder it is compared to now. I don't know.
Garrick Avenue. There it is.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's very Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
And Daniverse in the comments said that this is the same writer as The Rocketeer.
I didn't know that, and that's real close to this time too. That's going to come out a year or two after this.
Oh, okay.
Am I right?
I'm not sure. I still need to see that.
Oh, have you never seen that?
No.
I think you would
when
appreciate
Disney
that
Plus
quite a bit.
When Disney Plus came out, I was like, heck yeah, I can finally watch The Rocketeer.
91,
I
yeah.
never did. Some of this day stuff, like, here is very, like, 90210. Like Melrose Place.
That's true. Well, and I think Lois and Clark has the same thing.
Oh, certainly.
Sometimes.
Certainly. It's just funny that you go from the night, that stuff that's very 89, to just, that shot right there looked like we were about to cut into a Beverly Hills 90210 scene.
The sunglasses don't help, and that hairstyle, and...
Yeah. Well, this is like the TV Sarah Connor.
with those glasses. Yeah, if she had a British
But
accent.
just in general, 'cause she's got that hair too.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that.
Her hair is like a mix between T1 and T2 Sarah Connor.
So I like her quite a bit. She just has a real kind of distinct look, and I like their chemistry together. She was the big thing that always stuck with me from seeing this as a kid. And one of the odd choices made in the CW show is she is not stunt cast. They just brought her character back and inserted it in that show, but barely used her. So I thought she was going to be somewhat main supporting cast when she's introduced, because she's there pretty early, and it's the same actress as this character, just aged up now and in a different universe.
Yeah,
and she barely ever shows up.
Weird, although I guess that's similar to what they do with the Trickster. But I'm also gonna guess that the big reason,
because they made the Trickster a legacy thing.
Yeah, and the Trickster was like a villain back in the day.
Yes, which is weird.
So the main reason you like this woman, right, is because she only buys purple lights.
I mean, that helps. Yeah, although it's more pinkish than purple, but
but in that hallway it was more purple. I think this woman left something on your psyche that inspired the bunker.
You think so?
Yeah. That, or it was Prince, who this is clearly looking at.
Yeah, maybe a combination of both, because they were, around the same time. It was 89 into 90.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, with Prince, it was probably because I loved Batman. And maybe, I don't remember, maybe she was, when I was a kid, like an early crush or something. And so then I was like, oh, purple lights.
See?
Maybe that's what happened. It's possible.
And more comes out.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Man, that girl's got really good purple lights.
But no, I think she's a relatively good TV actress.
Yeah, I don't think any of the acting in this stand out bad or anything. It's all pretty good.
Some of it from the main villain is.
Yeah, but it's in a way that I can enjoy because it's funny.
No, it is, and he's hamming it up, and he's trying.
Yeah. Okay, now we're in the DNA. It's like a mix of the DNA Spider-Man scene and some of the crowd stuff in '89.
Oh, you mean with the score?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Well, and there's a whole sequence in this that is just straight up, because I said not the same melodies. Yeah, sometimes it is, because there's a scene later on that's gonna just be straight up Axis Chemicals, like all of it.
If this were CW, do you think there would be a line where he gets off the treadmill and he was like, "Wow, it broke. If only it were cosmic or something."
Yes. Yeah, I had that thought.
Oh, well, you're changing into a giant spider.
That's a very believable machine with the big hula hoops and nothing on the sides of it. That looks like it's scanning him, sure.
Well, yeah, it's scanning to see how low he can go.
So I've never been sure how I feel about when you get super speed, your brain moving faster also, because your thought process would have to in order to sort things at super speed or type at super speed.
Mm-hmm.
Does that take you out? Do you buy that?
That you'd be super smart because of it?
Well, because he doesn't seem any more intelligent, but in order to be able to do that kind of thing, he would sort of have to be.
I think that's one of those just conceit things.
Yeah.
With super speed characters, where super speed characters don't really work in any way, but you just kind of have to give it certain things like that, where he has to still be the same character, but also he can be a bit smarter because of the...
Well, sometimes we'll have an assumed internal logic problem where there are rules and they are consistent with it, but somehow all the characters already know what the rules are before anybody, or too many of them, before they figure things out. So later on, there's going to be a bit when he's running the track like we were talking about before, where he's going insanely fast. He's about to break the sound barrier. And he just picks her up and starts running with her.
Yeah, that part's really funny.
And I'm like... How do you know she's going to survive that?
Yeah, but if she does survive it, He's gonna look real cool.
Well, okay, so that makes it worth the risk.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen her purple lights, dude? Like,
Well, you know what I would be worried about if I was picking up somebody going 600 miles an hour? The potential for whiplash.
Ash. I mean, purple. I hardly know her.
God, I love purple.
Oh, I love purple.
Tom put it in a couple of super chats. Let me read these real quick. He says, "I've always liked this old guy, R.I.P. Grandpa." I don't know why you wrote it like that.
I think because he's dead, but that is weird to just be like, oh, I like this guy.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, but just basic math. Anybody that's that old in 1990 probably not with us anymore, or if they are,
Barry
they're
Allen's dog
not going to be much longer.
Not around. That guy in the background with his hat, that guy's
forgive my crassness, that guy's dead. Do you ever do this? Do you ever watch things and go, and he's dead, and she's dead?
Well, that's what I'm feeling right now. Like, this guy playing Barry Allen's probably dead.
No!
Playing the woman's probably dead.
He was just playing this exact character a couple of years ago.
That milk that's on the counter, that's probably
dead.
Spoiled. Yeah.
Yeah. This dog is definitely dead.
Yeah, that dog probably died at least twice by now. The guy driving this. Oh, it's a purple car.
That's a blue car.
Both that guy. Whoa, that red car was really small.
Do you have a colorblind thing? That was clearly a blue car.
Yeah. Huh?
It wasn't a purple car.
Well, I think because of the lighting, it looked purple. But
the street was purple.
Yeah, I think that's why. But
this will be the quality of the insights tonight, folks.
Both the guy driving that car and that car are dead now.
So I was watching this with Jason this afternoon, and I started kind of rolling my eyes a little bit at this scene because it's kind of obligatory. And he goes, "Yeah, but Dad, like I saw it coming from a mile away." He was like, when his apartment or his house is all messy, he's like, "Of course we're gonna do the scene." What I like about it is by the end of it, like the orchestra music, the classical music is taking it too far. But what I like about it is that at the end of it, it kind of subverts your expectations because you think that he's going to actually get everything cleaned up, and he doesn't know his powers well enough, and he's got everything floating around. And then when he stops, somebody knocks at the door, and he goes, "Well, crap!" And it's just as messed up as it was when he started. That's pretty good.
No, that's genuinely clever. Yeah. I also like.
I like his shoes on fire. That's very comic booky.
I like the running joke that his dog gets in the closet and has like a little thing that it can pull to close the door.
I'm sorry. Did you just say running joke?
Yeah.
How fast is your joke running? Yeah, well done. Don't take credit for that like you did it on purpose.
What do you mean? My brain is so fast.
My brain moves at the speed of the 1990 Flash series.
My brain is in at least gear 5.
So there are places, and I haven't watched the whole show, but there are places where I find the Iris West in the 2014 show insufferable. Certainly, she never gets to like the Felicity plays. This girl simply makes no sense at all from the beginning. I don't get her motivations and beef with Barry Allen at all because she's got contradictory issues. She's upset with him because he both wants too much commitment from her and also doesn't have any time for her. All at the same time. So he tries to propose to her at the beginning, and she goes, "No, I've told you. It should be enough right now that we're just in a relationship and love each other and having a good time, right?"
Yeah.
And then later, and actually even from the beginning, she's also complaining that he's never around, and then it turns into we're moving too fast. And in the same breath, she's also giving him the argument, you're too focused on your work. And I'm like, I mean, I guess you can maybe kind of have both of those issues at the same time, but the way they play it here, it just reads kind of contradictory. It's almost like they're just throwing as many like typical complaints that a girl would have about her boyfriend as they can come up with at once. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not great. I will take it over.
We're moving too fast, but you don't spend any time with me.
I will take it over. Barry wants to play Twister with his sister, like in the CW
Yeah,
show.
sure.
Boy, is that weird.
One, I will say, I think the actress is decent. It's one of those problems where, like, I think Kristen Curick is also an okay actress. Like, it's that Lana Lang issue of you made her whiny.
Yeah,
the actress is doing the best she can with it, and I like her a lot in her first page in her first appearance in this. Sorry, I got distracted because that sting in the music there is super TOS to me. And just like everything about
when it says Pike on the book.
Shot of well, yeah, but that's not why. So the villain's name is Pike.
But it adds to it.
When I was watching this with Jason, we just kept making Star Trek references. Anytime somebody would call him Pike, it's like I want Pike. No, I want Kirk.
I want to see like Dalek Pike fight the Flash.
Yeah, it'd be great if at the end of this, he wound up on a motorcycle. Like, he's got no legs, and he's just riding around on a motorcycle, but his face is all messed up, and there's a light on the front of the motorcycle, and when it flashes once, it means yes, and when it flashes twice, it means no.
Yeah, exactly.
That would have been great. But anyway, I was just going to say, that's supposed to be a big reveal, and it's done in such a 1960s TV kind of way, of, oh my god, he was a cop! And so I think that's how we're supposed to kind of have the two sides of the same coin thing with our hero and villain. And it's not very well developed, but I think the idea is supposed to be Barry Allen is loyal to the police department and cares about his job, but he's also disgruntled to some degree with his place in it. And our villain is disgruntled to the point of like becoming a terrorist and trying to take down the police department, but it doesn't really go together because their issues are not really talking about the same things. Like with Barry, it's not the police department isn't handling things right, it's just a like personal identity thing. It's a hang up in the way his family and in the department looks at him. But like his job is important, and they recognize that. It's just more of like a level of importance and kind of glory issue and that kind of thing. Whereas with the villain, it's all about class warfare, and I don't remember exactly, because like I said earlier, he's not memorable, so I don't remember maybe somebody can help me in the comments. I don't remember what his background is exactly with why he left the force and all of that. He just used to be a cop, and he's angry now, and he's helping the, downtrodden on the street rise up as a biker gang and try to take over the city.
I'm really sad now. We just killed Commissioner Harvey Dent.
So you've not seen this far in, right?
No, I think I've seen, because I saw the track scene, which hasn't happened yet.
Oh, that's true. That hasn't happened yet. Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna give anything away, but I will say that Schipp in a little while here is going to give us this incredible Oscar-worthy performance that I cannot wait for you to see. Jason doubled over in laughter. It was the best. We haven't talked about the fact that his brother Jay looks like he could also be his father.
I was thinking that too. Because of the guy, it's all in the gray hair, right?
Nah, wrinkles in the face and stuff too. Like he looks 15 years
true.
Older than his brother. And not that doesn't happen, but like.
But his dad also looks like he could be his grandfather.
Yeah, and I feel like the way it's written, they're supposed to be closer in age than they look.
Mm-hmm.
Tom had another $2 super chat where he said the bad guy looks like he could play Casey Jones.
He's the stunt double of Casey Jones. It's not Casey Jones. He also looks like he could be the main villain in like a random fantasy film in the 80s that you would rent at Blockbuster.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of lots of actors that he could be stunt doubles for, though. Like, because he also looks like not Snake Plissken
Yeah, when he's got like a little bit of what's his face? Like not Harvey Keitel in his face, just with long hair. He could also be like a stunt double for Death Wish.
So, look, Star Trek. Anyway, but you.
That's where we are tonight, folks. Star Trek.
This is the level of insights we're gonna have.
I like Star Trek.
So I'm sorry, it just looks goofy, and the prototype suit, and it's still gonna look muscle chesty when he gets everything on it, but it looks better with the emblem and everything else than without it.
Well, you know what the big like plus it has for that now at this point is?
What's that?
We've never had a good live action Flash costume, so you just kind of go, "Yep."
Yeah, I like the...
It's gonna get worse.
Yeah, I like the first one in the 2014 show fine enough. They start adding crap to it as it goes along, and...
See, I don't like the like leathery look of that.
It didn't start super leathery, though.
I don't know. It's
no. I guess maybe it. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking a later suit. They change it later to something a little closer to the comics.
No, that is true. I think here, like, it looks more like something you can run in than most of the other live action suits. Like, it's not the DCU suit or the leather suit from CW.
Real quick, Tom put another super chat and says he meant the guy with the long hair talking to the girl. It was a while ago. I'm not sure what we're talking about.
Oh, he's talking about Michael Bolton.
Oh, okay. But one thing that I have to give Schipp a lot of credit for is that even though it looks like a muscle chest, he is at least actually quite ripped when we do see him with a shirt off later. Mm-hmm. So I don't buy that he would actually look like this putting on something skin tight, but at least when he takes his shirt off, it's not like he doesn't have pecs, and he like everything that is supposed to accentuate, the man actually has.
Yeah, and so, I mean, to be fair, like, we still do this.
He worked hard. Yeah, but not to this degree.
Not to this degree, but, like, I don't know.
This is Halloween store level.
Oh, my God, when he stopped, it made, like, a Mario jump noise.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's like, you're going to break the sound barrier. And then he picks her up and runs with her.
Yeah, because he's gonna look super cool to her now, and like her shirt's a little ripped too.
You know what we needed?
So, like,
you know what we needed? We needed bullet time. We needed everything to slow down, and we needed the Danny Elfman / Shirley Walker version of "Can You Read My Mind?"
I think you're gonna say that for there to be hot dogs flying around, and then he could like awkwardly stand there and push the hot dogs around.
Or it could be Quicksilver, where we could just have some kind of incidental music playing in his headphones, and then wonder how that's moving at the rate it's moving while he's running so fast.
Yeah.
You know, you'd have some Simon and Garfunkel going. There's that light again. This director loves that light in the ceiling.
And he could be like, girl, you're one hot bee, because look at all them hot dogs flying around. I don't know.
Daniverse says, oh, so romantic. Yeah, I don't know if they fully get together in the show, or if it's, because I just don't remember, or if it's one of those things where they kind of tease you with it. But he does stay with Iris at the end of this episode, regardless of how she's been kind of jerking him around. And I was kind of surprised by that going back to this, because I didn't remember how that went. But she's like, we need time off. And then she'll come back later and change her mind. And I thought where it was going was he was going to say, yeah, you're too wishy-washy. I don't need to be with you anymore. But no, they get back together. Mm-hmm. It's kind of surprising.
Yeah, it was just a break.
They were on a break.
Mm-hmm.
Jason said they're playing a NES game right now.
That's true. It's like the stage transitions in Metal Gear.
Thomas Lowe says Schipp versus Grant. What I like about both of those actors is that they're not comparable. So however you feel about the writing and story choices with either of these things, I think they're both decent actors, and I think they're both right for different Flashes. And like Austin was saying earlier, like Grant is basically playing a Wally West with a little bit of Barry Allen thrown in, and Schipp is playing a straight up Barry Allen. So I also like them a lot on screen together in his show, because in Grant's show, because they are playing totally different characters. Mm-hmm. And so, in a perfect world, it would have been cool. Austin, you kind of suggested this off camera, if somehow that show could have been a spinoff of this, and
then he is the Wally.
He could have been Wally West, and
which would make
this is Barry Allen in the first place.
Like this scientist woman coming back and the Trickster stuff cooler.
It weirdly kind of has its cake and eats it too. And then once you get in a multiverse, it's like, it gets very strange that Trickster is from their universe in the first place. Where we say, even though there wasn't a Flash, we had this villain from a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. But to answer his question, I'm Schipp all the way. Like, even in that show, like when we do stuff with him as Jay Garrick and stuff, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. And I don't dislike Grant Gustin. He's fine. It's the difference between material, I guess. But
you'd rather him in the DCEU than Miller.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd also rather like literally anyone. I'd rather just the DCAU, just cartoon version in the DCEU than Miller, which one of the Justice League members is a cartoon.
You just bring back Rosenbaum, but he's not on screen. He's just voicing a cartoon character that shows up on screen.
Yeah, and it's like Roger Rabbit. He's the one cartoon character.
That'd be great.
Yeah. I'd take that over Ezra Miller.
Looking at this again, I think one of the reasons that I keep finding myself reminded of RoboCop is because of the like protective gear that the cops are wearing.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a lot of that in RoboCop.
Some of this explosion stuff is pretty I almost said ambiguous. Ambitious for TV. I don't know.
There's some practical pyrotechnics.
Yeah. Some of this is pretty cool.
And also feels like RoboCop because there's a lot of on-set fire.
Yeah. Well, now he's fighting Kamen Rider.
But yeah, he's essentially just wearing what Murphy is wearing at the beginning of RoboCop.
Mm. Yeah, and they look like the cops in the '90s Spider-Man cartoon,
or
but
Murphy,
blue instead of brown.
His female partner, I always forget her name.
Oh my God, she's like one of my favorite characters.
Me too, but I sometimes forget her name. Yeah.
Oh, and it's like a gender-neutral name too. It's not.
That's why it always throws me off. This first-person stuff looks better at night.
Yeah.
For some reason, when it's daytime, I don't know why, but when it's daytime, it takes me out more.
I mean, it's probably just because it's brighter and it's easier to see everything. It is silly in both, but I don't know. It doesn't bother me. It's funny. RJ Godzilla says Lois. I don't think her name's Lois. No, it's Lewis.
Lewis, there you go. That might have been a typo.
That or he thought it was spelled Lois.
Okay, here we go. Austin, you gotta watch this. By the way, just cut to his tombstone.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't see that beforehand.
Me too. That was the reaction, buddy.
Oh.
And then what is his father wearing? Because we've not been...
Well, he's Grissom for me.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying is we've not been super stylized with wardrobe and stuff, but he just walked out of the 1930s gangster film.
I'm still in the last scene though. I can't
I
even
know.
process.
I know.
I
So
I
if
was,
you weren't watching,
I,
his
so what happened was,
Barry Allen's brother just died.
and then Cap
Jay
led me to
Allen.
believe that he was going to deliver some sort of speech, but Barry Allen grabs him and goes, "Ah!"
He goes. It's the Revenge of the Sith thing. It's the no, which is the last line you want to write for a character grieving as somebody is dying. And like, even in a melodrama, and this is typically a little bit above just straight up melodrama, you don't want to do that. But like, literally, he just goes no, and it's amazing.
Why don't even did he say no? I
Yes.
thought he just went ah.
It's no in the subtitles.
Oh, okay. It sounded like he just went ah.
Maybe the subtitles are trying to make sense of that.
Yeah, I thought he just screamed. I want to see that version of Revenge of the Sith when he gets out and he goes, ah.
No, he gives a Klingon death howl. It's amazing. Well, no, of course you don't fire a bun without a gun.
Fire a bun?
Pardon me. Yeah, my mouth's not working great tonight. But yeah, of course you don't fire a gun without a bullet in the chamber. What would that accomplish?
Literally nothing. Why wasn't it you that died instead?
I don't understand that fatherly advice exactly. What exactly is that like, call me dense, but what is that a metaphor for? What is the...
Well, guns kill people.
What is the allegory there?
His brother is dead.
Like, it's not an effective allegory if I'm questioning what exactly it means. You might as well just come out and say what you mean. Like, you don't fight. Like, what does that have to do with what Jay Allen did there? Is it comparable to, like, don't bring a knife to a gunfight?
I don't know.
I'm not sure what it means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have no idea. Well, what happened in the background? It disappeared and was replaced by her purple. Oh, okay. There's the background. It was weird.
So now he's super gung-ho about using his powers because he's got a typical revenge motive now. But he will not be, spoilers, he will not be tempted in any way to actually kill the villain. The way he handles it is, like, shockingly altruistic, or at least the way it works out. Because what he does, I won't reveal what it is, but what he does to the villain at the end, Austin, has the potential to kill him, but, you know, Barry Allen's read the script and he knows that he'll be fine.
I guess it is refreshing that he doesn't want to kill the villain and just wants to bring him to justice. Oh, here's Ace Chemicals.
Oh, that's true.
Or
Axis Chemicals.
Axis Chemicals, yeah.
But isn't it really funny where he's like, I've got a symbol as well?
Yeah.
Why lightning bolts, Master Allen?
I'm afraid of them. A woman. It's time the criminals felt my fear. I could think of that woman's name.
It's time the criminals felt my dread of lightning.
And then he throws a little lightning at the wall.
Because a lightning bolt... He could be afraid of lightning.
Yeah. I mean, he got struck by it.
He got struck by it.
I would be scared.
Yeah.
As my one friend and I used to always laugh, the Flash's origin is just he was struck by lightning, and instead of dying, he just started running. Does this guy have hockey sticks on his back? What's going on?
I'm not carrying hockey sticks.
Oh, maybe it's supposed to be a shotgun.
Austin, I want to do a...
Okay, that's pretty awesome. That he just disassembles his motorcycle while he's not looking.
Yep, it's great. I want to do a re-edit when Jay dies and he's...
Whoa!
And he's like, no. When when you cut to the gravestone that says Alan, I want to go back to Jurassic Park 3 with the Velociraptor that goes Alan.
Alan, that'd be great. This show's awesome.
Yeah, I do think this pilot is pretty padded.
Yeah, I mean, certainly.
It is definitely longer than it needs to be. So our
But it's
introduction
just
to
a
our
pilot
hero
where they
is
basically
very
made a
Batman.
movie.
Sorry, what?
Yeah. I mean, it's basically a pilot where they made a movie and is a pilot.
Yeah, but there's just not enough meat on the bones for the story.
Mm.
And
No, that's fair.
it does feel maybe admittedly a little bit more like that now because I've seen so many movies and pilots for TV shows that have to go through all the motions of you get your powers and you try to figure out how they work and you make a lot of mistakes with your powers and then you have either before or after the tragic backstory thing happen that provides you motivation. Like, you know, we've been here and done this so many times.
Mm-hmm. But I would watch this over like any of the new show's episodes. This is awesome.
Well, and the corny stuff is super entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, it's got some of that 89 thing, obviously to more of a degree, where like I can't look at 89 as a gritty movie because it's very silly. But this has it more so because it's even more silly.
Yeah, part of that's just because it's on TV.
Yeah.
But, I mean, compared to a lot of things that we'd attempted with superhero on TV, both on television and in the movies, this at the time felt real dark and gritty. Mm. Like, wow, she knifed him in the leg and there was blood on the knife. Like, that's a big deal at that time.
Mm. Yeah, like maybe not if it was like Hulk, but like for a DC show especially, because like we got Batman and then Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
They're not doing stuff like that.
Yeah, and Hulk's an anomaly because it wasn't interested in being a comic book show at all.
Mm-hmm. No, it's like Highway to Heaven with a Hulk.
But no, you're right. He would maybe get stabbed in the leg in that show.
Yeah, by the one episode I've seen that we watched, I feel like that could happen in that show.
Yeah, so I mean, he's an expert.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen one episode, so therefore I know I am God.
Barry Allen works on his hair in the morning for a very long time. Like, what kind of gel do you need to not get your hair messed up when you can run that fast?
I don't know. It's the same gel that Dan Torrey uses.
So there is there is this hilarious exchange with the cops here in a minute about the red shoes that he's wearing. Mm-hmm. Where I was making fun of one of the cops because he said something stupid, and the other cop says exactly the thing I said.
Oh, that's awesome.
We'll get it here in just a minute. But he's like, wow, did you see his red shoes? The other cop's like, well, I mean, he's going through a lot. I would be doing the same thing. And the other cop goes, what, wear red shoes? Red shoes? Which is exactly what I said.
That's like the Nice Guys, the part where the one guy's like, it really makes you think. Yeah, not really.
Yeah. I gotta give him, I mean, it's somewhat minimalistic because this is on TV, but that action scene wasn't terrible.
No, that action scene was awesome.
There was some fun stuff in it.
Yeah, I love when he like throws the block of wood between into the tire, or like when he grabs the woman off the motorcycle. That was all super.
Oh, here it comes. Oh, that guy's name is Murphy. I go buy red boots.
Red boots.
What
Mother
a
of
mook.
God.
Yeah, and then Barry ate all their donuts. Because he's got to constantly eat a lot of calories, which they also do in the 2014 show, and I think that's comic book.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
He's got a fast metabolism, so he's got to eat all the time.
That's cool. It already exists. That we're already doing that.
You can get some comedic mileage out of that. Lois and Clark kind of does it with Superman too. Not so much that he has to constantly eat, but that he can be jacked and not have to think about what he's eating, so he eats nothing but junk food all the time.
Oh, okay.
They kind of make a joke out of that in the pilot. Or if not the pilot, somewhere early. I can't remember, Austin, did you and I watch the Lois and Clark pilot? I know I showed you something from that show.
Yeah, we watched a few
maybe
episodes,
you've never seen
I think. I don't think we did the pilot.
This plaid shirt is also quite dated.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to have a weird, awkward, non-love triangle. Because they're trying to create chemistry between him and the scientist chick, but they're not actually going to be an item because he's still with Iris. And again, I don't know if they play with that as an actual love triangle later.
Yeah. It's been so long since we watched Crisis, but when they flash back, don't they mainly just show him and the scientist woman? When they do the death of this Flash.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like maybe they're the couple.
And I was going to say, that's one of the only things I like about the Crisis special, is the way he goes out.
Yeah, but now I'm just sad because the better Flash died. But yeah, that moment's not terrible.
It's not. He has a big epic sacrifice. And as cheeseball as it is, I appreciate the respect that show gave this.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of shocking that anybody working on that cared about this.
That's probably the one thing that they respected. And they killed the main character, and they still had more respect for some of the other stuff they did.
But they did it, way later, and they had already established early on that Flash. Like, he had been in episodes before.
Mm-hmm. Although he does just kind of pop in and he's like, "Hello, Flash. You don't have to die. I'll die for you." Again, he maybe should have had more screen time. Just in that event.
He was there before that.
I don't think so. I think he just pops in and he's like, "Here, I'll do it." I don't think he's really a character in that event.
Maybe not. Maybe he needs to be more in the event itself. But in their defense, he has done stuff with them all before. So if you've been watching those shows, you would be familiar with his rapport with the rest of them.
Yeah.
I think, but it's
yeah.
But it's been a while and I haven't watched all that stuff. So AMC says he was in Elseworlds first. That's why I thought it was one of the big events, because I remember a shot with him standing with the other Flash and Supergirl and like somebody else, which was fun and surreal and the kind of crossover material that I can respect, because you're not doing it as just a big nostalgia grab, because most people didn't watch this show.
Mm-hmm. Whoa. She showed him her purple.
Yeah, and this whole thing is very odd and hilariously awkward, where... So, Austin, you remember when we watched Patrick Stewart's Safe House?
Yeah.
And, of course, you've seen this in a million other things, but they have that scene where they're trying to make you think that they're having sex and they're just eating ice cream and, like, grunting about how good the ice cream is. They do that with this almost in reverse, where they are in bed together, and obviously they have had sex.
Yeah.
And then they're complaining about what it sounds like how short the sex was.
Well, you know
where she's like, "Wow, that didn't last very long," and then it turns out they're talking about a fight on TV. That is one of the weirdest versions of that I've ever seen.
Well, it's because he's the Flash.
Oh, sure. But
like
that's
Sonic,
not actually what they were talking about.
Yeah.
But is that supposed to be the joke?
Yeah. Yeah, because he's
Where
the Flash. He does
course
everything
did that
really
fast.
fast.
He's the Flash.
Yeah.
Jason was not into this, by the way.
Oh no, he thought it was boring.
He thought it was really boring.
That's fair.
And I don't think the second half is as good as the first half.
I hope there's a jump scare when he closes this mirror.
Although I say that, we're 20 minutes from the end now.
I was gonna say we must be near the end. I don't know. This feels like it's gone by pretty fast.
Yeah, talking over it.
I mean, that definitely helps.
But it did watch pretty slow this afternoon. And like I said, I was enjoying the first half a lot more than the second. But as we're watching it, I'm not having that as much, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I guess he's got accelerated healing in this.
Yeah, they kind of set that up earlier when he was talking to the scientist woman.
Yeah, because when they go upstairs, she really wants to check out his wound, and then Iris is there, so then she doesn't do that.
Yeah, and he's like, "Don't worry, babe. She just wants to see my wound."
Now I gotta go interrogate Sonia Gomez. Somebody bring this woman a hot chocolate.
I thought you were gonna say Sonya Blade. Doesn't look anything like Sonya Blade.
No, but I was gonna say earlier that Pike looks like he should be in a Street Fighter movie. For what that's worth.
Well, Pike looks like somebody that Johnny Cage would fight in like an in-universe movie that he's in.
Oh yeah, sure. Like a Flash. That's the name of the show.
Like some sort of blur.
I like the lighting here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the show's doing a really good job of doing the like kind of darker neo-noir thing without feeling like cynical or actually dark. Like it doesn't take itself very seriously.
Yeah. What is it?
Yeah, it's amazing that he goes to that Christian Bale place.
And he looks like he's trying not to laugh.
But did you catch the line? Because Jason and I just looked at each other. He goes, "Take off her clothes."
Take your damn clothes off.
Speaking of obscure references, that was from an AVGN episode.
It's called Flashes Don't Wear Ties.
So, Pike is a very typical supervillain because not only does he blow up his own TV, but like the Joker in '89, he's now done it twice. He punched one, and with different methods too. He punched one. Remember in '89, the Joker has his punch gun, and then he's now shot one with a shotgun. And in '89, Joker takes out a handgun and shoots one.
Well, I was gonna say because Joker uses a punch gun, he both punched it and used a gun.
Right. But Joker also uses a gun.
Yeah.
But he also has a punch gun. So no, it's not exactly the same thing. Is that what all the cool kids are calling topographical maps now? Topos?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's one of the main Flash villains is Topo.
Is he he's one of the lesser rogues. Topo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I by my brain can tell you exactly what a map would look like if it were topographical."
I was gonna say, is that his superpower where he can tell like ocean levels, like levels of water rising? Is that what he does?
No, it's more like if you show him just like a regular map that's just like colored or whatever. Like in his mind, he can see what it would look like if it was topographical. Yeah.
What do those colored chemicals do? I said, what do those colored chemicals do?
I think they're flavored Gatorades. I want to hear more of this song.
I was gonna say, can we just have a whole scene of this?
This is jamming. I love this guy with his like.
Yeah, so Flash is gonna show up and just start messing with this guy, where the guy's like, "Turn off your radio," and then Flash just keeps turning his radio back on. It's great.
I wish Batman did that in '89. Bob, who keeps turning the prince on?
Well, he would blame Lawrence, because Lawrence is the guy with the boombox.
Yeah. I don't want to listen to Purple Rain right now. Oh, and he just knocked this guy over.
Yeah, and then the other guy just starts laughing at him because he fell down.
I mean, he's not wrong.
We got our Balkan skull, folks.
Yeah, and they both look like they're members of Motley Crue.
I'm so excited we finally found Austin his favorite superhero show.
Yeah. This is like the thing that will make me like The Flash. This is awesome.
His punch is so dainty.
Well, it's because he moved so fast that you could barely comprehend it.
Nope. That is not what happened there.
Well, I love how slow he punched.
Yes, and he'll do it again and it won't look remotely like it connects. You know, if only Flash had the topographical powers while looking at that map.
I want to see what that novel was that was just sitting there.
Yeah, me too. There were 2 or 3.
Yeah.
They were trashy romance novels for sure.
Well, the guy that they killed that looked like Michael Bolton also looked like Fabio, so maybe some of his stuff. Like that he was on the cover of.
So I don't know if you caught what Flash found, but it was...
It was a police medal.
Yeah, it was the good luck charm that
Yeah.
he gave his brother in the birthday scene.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure you're understanding the plot, Austin. I
No,
don't want you to lose the plot.
My brain moves fast enough. I can keep up.
My reflexes are too fast. I would catch the plot.
Exactly.
Joey Hollywood Films. Hi there. That's a name I don't recognize. I love the show. I did a review of this so many years ago. It's one of the few videos I'm proud of. I'll go try to check that out for you, Joey
awesome.
Hollywood Films. Yeah.
The show is cool so far.
Usually I wouldn't necessarily be excited about somebody popping in and going, hey, I've got this video, you should check it out. But the self-deprecation makes me want to know.
Yeah, the key to doing that is you got to come in and be like, hey, I made this video. Oh, my other video sucks.
It sucks. Don't watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know I'm
watching
going
it.
to.
I'm diabetic. Like, everything just sucks. Oh,
Austin,
we're doing a little bit like RoboCop thing, but they're all RoboCop.
Yes. Maybe I'm too much of a sponge, and I'm just easily influenced. But I'm enjoying this a lot more watching it with you.
Yeah. You should, when you see Jason X, you should punch him.
Yeah, but in such a way where it won't remotely connect.
Yeah.
And he'll
Just walk
still
up to
fall
him and
down.
be like,
And then somebody over there will start laughing at him.
when he's riding a bike, run over and throw a piece of wood into his tire.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that.
Whoa, he's got flash vision.
No, he's
like drugged or something?
No, he's having issues with his powers. And I'm a little bit confused on this point. So yeah, that effect is weird, but the idea is supposed to be that he's dizzy and he's about to pass out. And I thought at first that maybe it was just he's not eating enough.
I was just thinking, is it that?
But I don't think it's that. I think it's that his powers are unstable, and they don't resolve it by the end of the episode. So I assume that that's because again, it's been too long since I've watched this. But I assume that moving forward, that's maybe going to be a running issue.
That feels like a Stan Lee choice, right? Like that's like your Thor. Like, oh no, I dropped my hammer for 20 seconds. Now I'm Donald Blake.
Yeah, or I guess this isn't. This part of it's not Stan Lee, right? But the Spider-Man thing of the spider powers keep mutating.
Yeah, I mean that's Stan Lee, isn't it?
I couldn't remember where that is.
It's either right after Stan Lee leaves. Now
I was questioning it. Yeah,
I think it's after he leaves. I'm not sure. No.
HB Hoggett kept coming up during the first season. Well, the first season is the only season. Tom,
I love how slow they were riding through this prison, by the way.
Tom, $5 super chat. The thing I hate about super speed is that 90% of everything wouldn't work, like computers, blenders, vacuums, etc.
What? Well, I need to read this. The
Does he
thing I
mean?
hate about super speed is 9% of everything wouldn't work like computers. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Does he mean when you're using
Like when you're
anything
using them?
electronic at super speed, it wouldn't work the way it's supposed to? That's
Well, I mean-
probably true of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know that a vacuum wouldn't. It would probably just fill up so fast that you'd have to keep dumping it.
Yeah. Yeah, that one would make the most sense. But like, how would that affect a blender?
How would it affect a blender?
Are you just hitting the buttons really fast? But if you have super speed,
or is it that he's
you
thinking
probably
it would
blend
need
it
to
with
spin
yourself.
faster to keep up with the person? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
if you had like a knife or a spoon or something, you had super speed, you could probably blend stuff yourself.
that's not Farnsworth.
Yes, it is. It's Professor Farnsworth from Futurama.
That's what I'm saying. That's like,
Yeah.
It's too bad he didn't show up and say good news, everyone. But
He's like, be very quiet, we're in the ear.
this predates that by a few years.
Be very quiet, we're in the ear. Okay. What?
You know, the production values for this are pretty consistent.
There's so much purple. How is this not your favorite?
It really... I never noticed there was this much purple until you pointed it out. Even watching it this afternoon, I didn't see that.
It's just, this is your bunker, the show.
Yeah, I'm going to remake this show down here.
Yeah. Just run around the bunker and
Run around with first-person POV camera?
Yeah, let's speed it up. I'll watch that.
Okay, I'll add it to the list.
That should be a weekly show.
And I just number the episodes like after the sequence of the. So if this ended with 26, I would post episode 27 of The Flash.
Yeah, you just start here. So
Season 2, episode 1 of The Flash. We do a character arc where we do a story arc where he's just trapped in the bunker.
Sorry, Noah put in the comments, blenders already go fast.
That's true.
Laugh.
Blender goes fast.
Blender go. It's like Sonic. Yeah, they go fast.
So yeah, I like this exchange. Okay, where he and Tina have something in common, but we keep calling her scientist woman, but I keep forgetting her name. He and Tina now have in common that they've lost someone close to them, in different ways. Though, I mean, she's maybe comparing them a little bit too closely. But when he says, you know, you don't understand what I'm going through, she's like, yes, I do. What are you talking about? That plays.
You know what I just realized when she was like, "You need my help." She sounds like Craven's girlfriend in '90s Spider-Man.
That's true. She kind of does, actually.
See it again.
But yeah, I appreciate the idea that she has motivation beyond just she's scientifically curious. She's not taking advantage of Barry in a trying to get famous sort of way, but it is somewhat selfish, but understandably so, in that he's her way to kind of redeem what happened with her husband, because that was all an accident with, and I forget what exactly he was researching, but it was an accident with their researching something super experimental. And if this actually works out and she can give back to the world, she's going to feel better about how that all turned out. So, you know, it's all coming from a character place.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got to have his one-liners.
What is he doing? What is that?
He's just... Yeah, I was excited for you to see this part, too. He's just vibrating a lot and people fall down.
That was the greatest action scene maybe ever put to film. Eat your heart out, John Wick.
I'm so glad that I'm watching this with you. Forget a watch part. We should just do this episode to episode.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Austin, how do you feel about the Flash going up against these kinds of bad guys? Because I feel like there's maybe an argument to be made that it's kind of like Superman going up against just guys with guns. Like, you can't really... If you're just a guy, even with an army, you can't really stand up to the Flash that well.
I mean,
He's maybe too overpowered for this kind of thing.
I've always gotten the sense that the Flash is, in a way, DC's Spider-Man. So this is always what I imagined more so that he would fight, is stuff like this. So yeah, it doesn't bother me. I think this is cool.
It's a good call, but I feel like he's technically.
He's
I don't
too
know.
powerful.
I don't love having these kinds of discussions because it's real superficial. But he's maybe more powerful than Spider-Man.
Yeah, well,
Like,
and super speed's such a broken power that it's hard to justify. I think the big thing with the Flash,
and it's hard to keep consistent.
You need to have, yeah, absolutely. You need to have a lot of moving pieces, right? Where like there's just so much going on, and like in different spots, and like you got to run around.
Oh yeah, like you've got to almost be in two places at once.
Yeah, it's like, have you ever seen the footage for that?
Oh, the motorcycles in the prison is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. He just went down the stairs. But it's like, have you ever seen the the footage from the canceled Flash game from the mid 2000s?
I don't remember.
So their whole thing was that the map was going to be two cities side by side, and there would be crimes happening on both sides, and you'd have to like run around like to both and like keep up with it. Like that was kind of how they justified the
cool.
super speed thing. Yeah, it looked like a really cool game, and they built like a completely different combat system I've never seen before for that game. It's a real shame that it was canceled. Oh no, he's got purple vision.
Yeah, he's about to pass out again. He's getting close to fainting. Maybe this was their attempt at giving him, a kryptonite-esque weakness.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why I was thinking of like the Stan Lee thing, because that's the Thor's weakness, and why, you'll have those dramatic moments in an issue where he drops his hammer and oh no, now he's not Thor anymore.
Yeah,
obviously
the difference is
that's just like the go-to example.
The difference is that or kryptonite is concrete in a way this isn't. Where this feels a little bit more contrived. We're in the scene because he's going up against the bad guy now. We need to make it harder for him. So all of a sudden he's having he's having his dizzy spell and his power's not working right. Mm-hmm. When you get to the end, he's gonna tell Tina, "Look, I want to keep doing this. Why? Like there's no good reason not to." And she's like, "Well, there is. Your power's not stable. Like we don't really know if you're even gonna be able to keep it, or if you're gonna keep having these kind of sick spells." And he just completely ignores that and is like, "You're a scientist, you'll figure it out."
Yeah, I kind of want it to be that like calorie thing, where like he needs to eat or something to keep up the energy.
That's a criticism I have of this, is that just in order to keep the weakness going into other episodes,
yeah.
it feels like we can't resolve that, but it feels like the natural thing to do, at least for this as a story, would be you get to the end and they've got at least like some kind of a way to mitigate it. It's kind of weird that he would just keep being the Flash, not knowing if that was sustainable at all.
Whoa!
That explosion looks great.
It almost becomes like a natural version of Stanley Iron Man, where his Iron Man is constantly like, "Oh no, I've run out of electricity."
The battery, yeah.
But it's like a natural thing.
There's that punch.
Like, oh no, I've.
It's right in the front of his face. Look at the size of that knife. We saw it earlier.
Love that when the Flash runs out, he goes, "Hey, remember me?"
He had it up against somebody's face earlier.
Seconds ago.
I think it was Sonia Gomez, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, there he goes. Then he lifts him up like a tornado.
Yeah, he just turned him into Weather Wizard. Whoa!
Yeah, this is epic.
This is cool.
What a way to die. Or what a way to not die.
Oh, what a way to die.
So you see what I'm saying? Like, he's apparently not trying to kill him, but that easily could have killed him. So he's lucky he didn't die because he just electrocuted the man.
Well, that was very comic booky, yeah. Oh, he should have left a little note.
But in a lot of period action movies, that bad guy is dead now.
Yeah.
Right? But because he's the hero and he has to not be too revengey. But like you said, it is kind of refreshing that he's not. That we don't have to listen to like a 5-minute speech from Tina or someone saying, no, you'll be as bad as he is if you kill him. Like,
it's also good because he like works with the police. That he's not like, I'm gonna go murder this man.
Yeah, that's true. No, I like that he's motivated by the death of his brother, but he's still able to keep himself in check to some degree. So, like, he still makes some mistakes to some degree, I guess, because he's so laser-focused he's not thinking about anything else, but he's not, like, a crazed lunatic over it.
Yeah, he just wants to bring that guy to justice.
It's
by going...
Exactly. No, he's reasonable. It's odd. It's shockingly realistic.
I think this is the footage they played when he dies in the...
Oh, is it? I don't even remember.
I think so, but it's like I said, it's been so long.
I'm curious to go back and look at that one scene now. Not anything else from that, but...
Why not?
Because the Kevin Conroy thing will make me cry, and not in a good way.
Well, that's my favorite part of it. Is the Kevin Conroy thing.
Of course it is.
Because he's having so much fun.
You know, Red Ghost is not the worst name.
Yeah. That feels very CW. That's maybe a little bit better because we just go to Red Blur.
That's true.
Red Ghost is more of a name.
And it's not like they go episodes and episodes calling him that and they never land on The Flash. It's
that is
just
true.
This is a lot more believable, too, in how he's named, because Barry Allen actually comes up with it himself. He doesn't get it from somewhere. He actually uses his own imagination. He just says The Flash. Okay, cool. And then other people think of things because they think he's acting like a wraith in the night, and he's kind of spooky, and, you know, this version is intimidating in his way. I don't know, they're somehow finding a good balance between intimidation and kind of, you know, bright, happy-go-lucky hero.
The scene with the kid's not bad either.
No, we're still conflating things that happen in this with trying to make easy comparisons with other things that don't actually go together. So when he's like, he just ran out of track, I'm like, it's not the same thing. Like, what you're talking about right now is not the same thing.
He's like, look, kid, your dad, he tried to shoot a gun without a bullet or something. I don't know.
Slasher Fred says there's an episode called Tina, Is That You?, where Tina's the main bad guy. I don't remember that.
Who?
Tina, the scientist lady.
Scientist woman, yeah.
I don't know if she got mind controlled or if she's actually a villain for a minute, or...
She becomes Killer Frost. But, like, not really in another universe.
So Austin's hooked. This is Austin's new favorite superhero show.
Yeah, this show's awesome. I love these credits, too.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
How about that climax?
It was perfect.
Well, Austin, you want to take a break and watch one more?
It's up to you. Yeah, if you want to do that, I'm down.
Okay, no, I'm up for it. We've still got some folks with us. Should we find a Trickster episode? I'm sure that's what people are really going to want us to do.
Yeah, here, I can look up quickly and find out
So
what
I think he's in a couple.
Yeah, I'll just go to his
The
Wikipedia.
one everybody remembers is, I think, the very last episode where he's on trial. Yeah, the trial of the Trickster. I remember that. But I don't know where his introduction is.
No, that's
So yeah, I don't know if you want to watch the pilot and then the last episode.
I mean, I don't mind. Yeah, he's in 2 episodes.
Maybe we should go ahead and
too.
maybe we should go ahead and watch his introduction, and then maybe down the road we could do the last episode. Episode 12 is the Trickster.
Oh yeah, and there's yeah, I had no idea the show did Captain Cold, so that's really cool.
Yeah. By the way, this box set that I have is pretty cool. So it's got a good episode guide, like a lot of these earlier box sets would have. And then I had forgotten about this, Austin. Check it out.
Oh, I don't have
Can
your.
you see me? Oh, did I forget to screen share? Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's a good thing I looked up when I did, because I just got a warning: your laptop's gonna die. And I looked up, it's at 4%. It's a good thing I looked up when I did.
Oh God, have you plugged it in or?
Yes, I just plugged it in.
Oh, cool. But yeah, check it out. The background on this box set is comic flash art.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's really good.
I almost bought that, so I used to see it constantly for $9, and then I went to buy it at the beginning of the week because I knew we were doing this, and it was 20.
Oh no!
And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I got mine for 10. It looks like.
Now that I've seen it,
it's like I'll spend $20 on that.
I'll spend $20 on this.
Yeah, sold. Take my money.
Can I spend more money on it so that it'll come back?
So Austin is officially a John Wesley Schipp fan now.
Yeah. Screw trying to bring Firefly back. Bring this show back. That's my suicide pact thing.
Do you think Schipp shows up in the Flash movie? Could it happen?
I'm gonna say no.
I mean, anything is possible.
Anything's possible. And one of the big things too is that we don't know everything that'll be in it because they're not screening the full movie yet.
Yeah. Well, I hope not too much comes out because I want to be as in the dark about that as humanly possible. But I did find out about one cameo that made me realize that anything is possible. Because like last week on the Captain Logan show, I was like, I'm not sure we're going to see any more than we're already seeing. And then I found out about something that I won't reveal here, and I was like, oh, okay, if they're doing that, then they could do virtually anything. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
So somebody asked me, like, do you think Gustin will show up? And last week I said, no, probably not. Now I'm like, yeah, actually I do. Actually, I think that will happen. Or at least it's very plausible that it could happen.
Yeah, Cap found out that Michael Keaton was coming back, and he was like, what? And literally anything at this point.
I was like, it's really weird that I keep seeing all this merchandise where they took the yellow belt away, and they changed his outfit, and like, why are we doing that with a Flash movie? And then somebody had to spoil for me that Michael Keaton is in that movie, and
you know,
I'm
so
joking.
Weird?
I've known about this it's the only thing they're selling it on besides Supergirl.
You know, it's so weird. I didn't know this until the day after we did GNN, of course. But I saw the Hot Toys that they put out for Ben Affleck Batman, and they just reused Michael Keaton's face.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, so he's got like that chin like bottom face model. So it doesn't look anything like Affleck.
It's
and
so
I'm
cheap.
Pretty sure it's Michael Keaton's model that they reused.
It's so cheap.
It's so cheap, and you're supposed to pay $300 for it.
Man, and I handed you that rant.
Yeah, then I learned about that the next day, and I was like, man, that would have fit so well into that.
Oh wow, Tina has a total look change. Oh, I guess it's probably because she turns into a bad guy. But yeah, suddenly she's got this whole like sexy leather jacket thing going on.
You can really see her purple now.
Right.
Even on Apple right here, where I'm looking at this, the thumbnail they had for episode 1 is just a motorcycle surrounded by purple smoke. It's like that's just the only thing this episode's known for. Is
Oh,
it's very purple.
but you know what? And I was gonna check this real quick before you grab that episode. It's probably also remastered on YouTube.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't even think about that. Oh well, they're $2 episodes. It's not the biggest deal.
Okay. Well, sorry about that, man.
That's okay.
But I'm gonna put the link in the comments if I can find it.
Mm. See, now that I know Captain Cold is in the
I don't
show,
know that they've done every episode though. I'm not seeing it right away.
now I'm wondering like what other Flash villains show up in the show.
Yeah, I'm only seeing the first 2.
Oh, okay. Looks like it's HBO Max, folks.
But there's not a lot of content on this show because the stream we're doing right now pops up pretty quickly when you do a search.
That's not a good sign.
Okay, we're gonna watch episode 12. It's called The Trickster, and if you're watching it on disc, I don't know if anybody's doing that with us, but you know, for folks after the fact especially, it's on disc 4. Or you can rent it. You said on Apple. I imagine it's on Amazon also.
Not here, but maybe in the States.
Okay. I didn't look that up. But anyway, so see if there's a place where you can find it, folks. Otherwise, if you want to, you can just listen to us tell you what happens in it while we're watching it. A lot of folks do that anyway. We're going to go ahead and, though, take a 3-minute break. 3 to 4 minutes, and then come back and watch this 45-minute episode, and then that'll be it for tonight, and we'll call it a day. But yeah, Austin, thanks for doing another one. We had so much fun with that pilot. I was kind of in the mood to do one more.
It's just gonna be me fangirling over this now.
I was a little bit worried after the watch I had this afternoon that would be kind of boring. It wasn't. It was easy to chat during, and it was a lot of fun to watch with you.
Yeah, this show's great.
All right, folks, 3 or 4 minutes.
It's probably my favorite show, like the only show I like.
Okay, we'll see you in just a little bit, folks. Hey everybody, I'm back. Just waiting on Austin. He should be here any second. There he is.
Hey Cap, you know what I have?
Hey, what do you have?
Mini donut.
Mini donuts. The only better than a mini donut is a donut. No, it's fine. I'll wait.
Oh.
Yeah, the term donut hole is very silly because you can't eat the hole. The hole is an absence of something.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like some sort of yeah.
Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Where are you going with that?
I don't know.
Episode 12 of the first and only season of John Wesley Schipp's The Flash. It's the Trickster. But you know what's interesting? If you were able, considering that they're related series, because this actual character shows up in the 2014 series, and this actor plays like 3 different characters in that show. If you could count this in, it did get as many seasons as Smallville.
Yeah, but it's sad because it's way worse.
No, it's true. It's just a really weird world we're living in.
That's true.
Okay, so I did not prepare for this one. We decided to do a bonus episode. We weren't sure if we were going to do anything after the pilot. So this will be straight up blind watch, and I won't have any insights or analysis about this at all. We'll just watch it and do a reaction video. Is everybody ready?
Yes. More than ready.
Good. He's like, you should have started already.
Yeah.
Why didn't
you? Gotta be fast like my boy Flash.
Oh, I'm sorry. Give me a second.
I dropped controller.
Pardon me, I've got to set this back up again. The disc
now
do this.
I do too, because I dropped my remote.
The disc do this weird thing where if you, and I think it's because they have all of the episodes on one track. I hate old DVDs that do that. And so if you press,
like when you finish an episode, it goes to the next one.
No, what I was gonna say is if you turn on the time code, it's for the whole disc.
Oh, it's
not
the
for
whole
each
disc.
episode. It's all in one.
Gotcha.
So if you,
my Munsters set is like that.
So what I was gonna say is if you press back though, I've never had another disc or another set of discs do this. If you press like you're gonna try to go to the previous chapter or something, or you're gonna start the chapter over, it just goes to the menu. It's really weird. Yeah. So that's what just happened, and so that's why I had to set it back up again. No one cares. Okay, here we go. Get ready to press play. When I say now, if you need a timestamp, let us know, and somebody will help you out in the comments, I am sure, because I forgot to put up the timer tonight, so I'll try to remember to do that next time. Here we go, everybody. Everybody, please press play right now. And we're going to get to see the actual intro this time. I don't know if it just goes straight into it, or no, it does have a cold open. So it does a lightning bolt at your face, and then cold open. That's fun. Lois and Clark did the same kind of thing. It would have the ripple cape, the not very good looking CG. I'm running around.
Damn it, back! You gotta. Hello, it's me, Barry. I'm running.
Whoa! Oh my
god!
Is that a ghost?
What is happening?
That was amazing.
This show just gets better and better.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how consistently
action-packed
hilarious this would be with the pilot, but it's living up to expectations so far. Damn it, Barry!
I love how the dog's reacting too. The dog's watching.
This dog is a.
This dog is a king.
Well, I was gonna say it's a major supporting character.
Yeah, and when it goes into the closet and can close the door.
Oh yeah, he's still having all the same problems with his powers, but they have a better sense of the limitations of it now. It seems like.
Yeah.
Austin, I really like that though.
Oh, don't do that. That's just gross. Oh my god. It's Phantom of the Opera. Oh,
no, you're not. You're Mark Hamill.
I didn't recognize him at first.
Yeah, I didn't right away either. And this honestly probably would have been the one or the only thing for some people that they had seen him in live action past Star Wars, right? Like,
yeah, no, definitely. I thought that even back when he came back for the new show,
yeah,
and when they brought him in, because he's one of those actors that a lot of people talk about as having never gotten work again, just because they don't know about a lot of his voice work.
His voice work, yeah.
But
like that really saved his career because he had the typecasting problem, certainly.
Yeah, absolutely. No, he became like a voice character actor.
Oh my god. Is he going to actually do it?
Yeah. This is amazing.
Yeah, and what's fun about his Trickster is he's doing more or less the same voice he does with the Joker, and the Trickster is basically the Joker.
Wait, his Trickster, Joker, and Hobgoblin are all slight variations of the same voice, right?
Yep. No, and I heard him in an interview the other day on YouTube talking about how difficult it was differentiating those voices.
Oh, I'd imagine so. And it's easy just to go, oh, you know, they're the exact same voice, but when you actually listen to them, they're slightly different. Like,
this intro is hilarious.
It's amazing.
I don't know. I don't understand why we do the.
Whoa, he was like riding around
the clipped up images where they're only sort of moving.
So on that image of Flash in the mirror, you want the like images may appear closer than they actually are, right?
Is it supposed to just give you a sense of speed where it's like, oh, look how fast everything is moving, because it doesn't really translate? Like it looks
think so, yeah.
It looks more like just a frame rate issue. This is messed up.
This is so cool. I didn't expect him to have like a wizard outfit.
Yeah, well, that's not going to be his main outfit, of course.
Yeah, no, obviously I knew that, but
yeah. If you're not watching us or watching this with us, Mark Hamill is about to chainsaw a woman in half. He's being a magician. And very much like a lot of Joker episodes of animated series, he's in front of an audience of mannequins.
But do you wish it was dogs? Like all of a sudden you could hear dogs clapping?
I didn't even know dogs were watching. Why are we still quoting that?
Because Flashes don't wear ties. Whoa!
Oh my god. Hey, his punches have gotten better. That was a more convincing punch.
Oh, you already caught the Trickster. That was quick.
Yeah. I guess the Trickster part is just a cold open for a different episode. It's like we're watching Brave and the Bold right now.
I was gonna say, this is the Make America Great Again all over again.
Yeah, so this is a new character we didn't have in the pilot that was introduced somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, Megan, yeah.
I don't know if Iris is still with us. Like, is he dating this girl, or is this just a friend of his?
Well, I think he's dating Scientist Woman, because they were, like, talking about Cary Grant, and they were...
Oh, that's true. That
eating popcorn.
That doesn't mean it was a date, though.
Dude, have you ever eaten popcorn with a woman you're not dating?
Well, that's a very personal question.
Exactly.
I don't feel like I have to answer that.
I'm not.
Howard Chaykin co-wrote this episode.
Who did?
What? That's crazy. Howard Chaykin.
Who's that?
Howard Chaykin wrote a lot of comics. What? Why can't I think of things right now? Well, that guy's just the most stereotypical.
Wait, you said his name's Bugs Bunny, and he looks like Bugs Bunny in a human outfit.
He drew the early Marvel Star Wars comics.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, like, I know him as an artist. I didn't know he did any script writing, especially for television.
Mm. And he wrote like a masterpiece.
But I think Vince is a big fan of Chaykin.
So I just noticed, so when the Flash moves, he doesn't turn his neck. Is that like an... Okay, no, he just moved his neck down. So that must be an intentional choice then, right?
Wow, so he changed very quickly there. What part of it are you saying is intentional? Just the...
Because he's still doing that, but I'm pretty sure he can turn his neck.
He can actually turn his neck, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not sure why he's doing that.
Well, that's why I'm wondering, like, is that like an 89 choice? Like, they're like, oh,
yeah,
that's the thing. Like, do that when you're acting.
But that's
now he's dressed up like Kingpin.
But when I say I don't know,
Hawkeye
that's
show.
right. But when I say I don't know why he's doing that, like, is it that he was directed to do that? Was it his idea? Like,
that's what I mean. I would guess directed, but I don't know.
Yeah, do they live together?
No, because I think she's leaving.
Oh, okay. Well,
Barry Allen knows what's up. He walks in with the next girl and he kicks the last one out.
That's true. That's true. I mean, 2 is not a pattern, but maybe he does that a lot.
Yeah. To be fair, she did let the dog eat out of the popcorn bowl. She deserves to get kicked out.
I wouldn't think popcorn is good for dogs.
Well, I just don't want to have to eat out of the popcorn bowl in the dog's face.
Thank you for that exposition if we haven't been following the series.
You're welcome.
Did you catch that? He just said she's the only other person that knows he's the Flash.
Oh, okay, yeah. When he just said, let's the 3 of us catch up, so maybe he's not kicking her out. Barry Allen's got
it depends on what catching up means.
That's what I mean. Barry Allen's got some moves.
HBO, I guess, says it's partly a limitation of the suit.
And look at this. She left popcorn all over his table.
Like, maybe he can move his neck, but it's not super easy.
Yeah, it might be. Like, it might be harder to move side to side, because we only saw him move up and down.
And that, yeah, the material's very thick.
And I think it's because when I see that, that it's got such, like, a fuzzy look. Like, I think of it as almost like a pajama type thing. So it's
winter pajamas too. Like, you don't want to wear that when it's 85 degrees outside.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't want to wear it, but
but I want you to wear it is the thing.
Okay.
I
just
think
realized this
everyone
woman's got like a
watching
perfect
would enjoy seeing
Jessica
that.
Jones cosplay.
What, you'd rather be a giant hot dog?
What?
There's a thing in Jessica Jones where there's a flashback where she's dressed up as a giant hot dog.
I don't remember that. It's been so long since I watched that.
I thought that's what you were talking about.
No, I just meant like she's got like the main outfit. Like she's got
Give
the
me
leather
crap
jacket
for
and
knowing a show
jeans.
better than you.
Barry Allen's like, I hate to see her leave, but I love to watch her go.
Man, what I wouldn't give to see her purple.
Man, what I wouldn't give to see her wearing a hot dog costume. And feed
And
my
once
dog
again,
some
this is
popcorn.
why I don't need the padded costume, but I have it anyway. Comedy. This is very Lois and Clark too.
Yay.
Oh my God! Stop! No, what was that? What was that?
Oh
The
my God,
vibrating?
he was panting like a dog.
And he just was rapidly vibrating.
Yeah.
This is making me uncomfortable. I like the lighting
love
here
this.
in his apartment a lot.
You know what? His apartment, speaking of Netflix, reminds me of the
Daredevil.
Daredevil apartment. Yeah.
Yeah. That's not halfway. She has to come down to the bottom of the staircase if they're gonna meet halfway.
Now the score sounds like Toy Story.
So they are dating?
No.
No? What's happening?
I don't know, they're making out.
Is he under an influence, or are they actually dating? Or...
I don't know, but I'm distracted because the score sounds like Toy Story, and it's really weird.
This makes me wonder if the show is slightly more serialized than you might expect it to be. It's because he's afraid of lightning bolts, signifying his dark power.
They're still taking him to jail. They arrested him yesterday.
No, we flashed back to a few hours ago.
No, they're like taking him out of Central City because he just said, "Take me back."
Oh, okay.
So they're taking him to like prison in a different city.
Flash.
Whip flash.
Whip flash.
I thought he was gonna say there's only one man that can stop me, and there's only one man who can stop the Flash.
And that's me. It's gotta be done. You already said that. That is some silly ADR right there. He's even got kind of a Joker-esque theme.
That's what I was just thinking, yeah.
And this isn't influenced by that, because that hasn't happened yet.
No, but it's also Shirley Walker.
Yeah. Isn't
So
that
if anything,
interesting?
there's some of this in that.
You gotta wonder if that had anything to do with why he got that part.
I'd imagine
Nobody
so.
ever talks about that.
I'd imagine that was part of
I
why
mean,
they looked at
he
him.
did audition. It's not like they called him up because he did this and gave him the Joker.
Yeah.
And he didn't think... He claimed he didn't think he would get the part because he was so typecast as Luke Skywalker, even though it was a voice part. He was like, oh, they'll never cast me. James Jesse. Okay, but how long can you safely hold that?
Well, that's why they cut. Oh my god, they're in Friends now.
Here's Barry Allen at Central Perk. I would have to get that crap out of my face if I was trying to talk to a person over a table. There's no way I've got paintbrushes and a spoon in my face.
Well, you see, it's metaphorical. Because last night they brushed together and spooned.
No. You know, the metaphors have been pretty... See, yeah, get them out of your face. The metaphors have been pretty sloppy in the show. That is pretty spot on, actually. You're right.
Yeah.
Tom, $2 super chat. Is this the same apartment that 2014 tries to buy? I don't think so, Tom. But I haven't seen that show in a long time, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, and it would be a set that they built. I mean, I guess they could recreate it, but I don't know.
I'm sure he's talking about something that actually happens in that show.
Yeah, no, I think so too. But I don't want this cool apartment sullied by that show.
Oh yeah, she's influencing him.
She's his symbiote?
That's not what I said. I said she's influencing him.
Yeah, like the symbiote.
Oh, I see. Okay.
She's got a leather jacket, so she's got some darkness.
Oh, so they're gonna merge and he's gonna be like, "We are Flash"?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry I kicked you out so I could make out with another woman, but have you seen her in them jeans? She may not have purple, but you know. She doesn't feed my dog.
Did you hear what you just said?
No, it's
maybe we can make it a foursome. This is wonderful. Wow. I don't like these kinds of plots usually, but the Trickster is helping a lot.
I mean, they just want to make it a Flash sum.
These are the jokes, folks.
I'm sorry, I'll walk myself out.
She's got to run. Can we have another take? I don't like the way he said croissant.
Well, I think he was like saying waiter or whatever. Isn't that like croissant or what? I don't know.
No, it's bread.
No, I know.
Not garçon. No, he was saying croissant. I'm looking at the subtitles.
Oh, okay. But because there's like another thing like that for like waiter in French.
Yeah, you're saying garçon. That's not what he said.
That's what I thought.
He said croissant.
Okay. Well, he like pronounced it where it was a mix between both words.
No, it wasn't. It's that thing that Americans do when they're trying to sound French when they say croissant. It was like croissant, but he said it sounds stupid.
Yeah, croissant. Yeah.
Why do we only do that with that word?
Because Americans are stupid.
Oh, we got Officer Murphy again. I didn't expect these guys to keep coming back.
Yeah.
Maybe they're the Bulk and Skull.
This also reminds me
because Bulk and Skull were police officers by Zeo.
That also reminds me of that comic I was writing in high school, because that also had two cops like this that were like comedy relief that popped in.
In what?
That comic that I was writing in high school that I mentioned earlier.
So you just accidentally wrote The Flash?
But like both shows into one, apparently.
Did your... I forget if you said, did your protagonist have super speed?
No.
What did he do?
He just had super strength. Like it was like kind of like that.
Okay. So was he nigh invulnerable like the Tick?
No, sorry.
Oh.
That's the comic I got my username from.
See, look at these murals.
Yeah, it's because they keep filming in colleges. This guy looks like a mix between Christopher Walken and Michael Keaton, and it's making me really uncomfortable.
How are you both Bruce Wayne and whatever that guy's name is in Returns? Why can't I think of it?
It's because
What's his name? What's his name?
Max Schreck.
Max Schreck. There you go.
The Max Schreck company had a hostile takeover of Wayne Corp, and then they merged as a person.
Mark Hamill is fully embracing this.
Yeah, I love how he's not even interacting with anyone.
No, he's talked to himself. This like even when there were people in the car, he was talking to himself.
Yeah, and like nothing. Like his plot hasn't merged back into the rest of the episode yet.
I'd be fine if the whole episode was just this. was just him talking to himself
Oh my god!
and talking to a picture of his girlfriend that he tried to cut in half with a chainsaw.
So is this the foursome they were talking about? Those two, the Flash and the Science Woman?
Yes. I like the kind of rainbow motif that he has with like all the color in his hair, and then
Yeah. His hair looks like a fruit roll-up.
and then his car is painted like the VW Bug in the Muppet movie.
Well, I like that his car has like a domino mask across the windshield. That's super cool.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Oh, he's got the Jay Garrick helmet.
Yeah, that's great. I love the way he says the Flash. I also love that he hates the Flash this much he hasn't even really gone up against him yet.
Yeah. This is brilliant. With his hair there, I was like, oh,
or at least he hasn't dealt with him much. He's got an old classic. Some days you can't get rid of a bomb.
Sometimes you can't get rid of a bomb.
Do you notice how the film quality just dramatically changed?
Yes.
It's like we suddenly got Sentai footage or something.
Why'd you just grab the bomb and then throw it away? Why'd you still let it blow up in the middle of the street?
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be like a Trojan horse kind of thing.
Wait a minute. The Trickster is obsessed with her because the insurance called her for not paying his car payments, and now he's obsessed with her?
What?
She just said that. She was
I don't
like,
understand that.
That's amazing. That means that he was just sitting around in that warehouse doing this, but without being obsessed with her. And then she walked in, and his entire life
And now he's
changed.
obsessed with her. Well, he's just nuts. He's just that crazy.
Because he wasn't paying his car payments. The show is magic.
And we've seen the car he wasn't paying for.
It had a domino mask.
The car itself had a domino mask.
Yes, painted across the windshield. We live in a society, Barry, full of tricks.
Could you say hexapoppins just one more time?
Hexapoppin?
Yeah. He said, we've got a situation at hexapoppins.
I want to see a commercial where it's like, oh, there's hexapoppin. No, I think you mean pizza poppin.
Now he's got her picture in his car.
Yes, they can go to the
They're at the
drive-in.
oh, it's a costume shop.
Oh, and it's called hexapoppin.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah! I thought he meant like, like heck is a poppin right now. You better get out there, Barry.
No, they're like specifically, they're like, where is this play? What is it? And then it turns out it's this costume shop.
Yeah, I thought it was like, like hell's breaking loose outside. Hexapoppin out there.
Well, I don't mean to give it too much credit for this, but I appreciate things that don't feel the need to put, forced exposition in dialogue. So, like, everybody there knows what that is, and so they just go, is it hexapoppin? And then the audience sees it, but then at the same time, would everybody know what this costume shop is? It's just a costume shop.
Look at it, it's even got one of those big murals.
There's
a guy hanging.
That is a
Whoa.
disturbing mural. They love these disturbing murals.
There's just a man hanging in the background.
What's love got to do with it?
I want to know what love is.
Is the
Noise
James
again.
Jesse thing comic book, or did they make that up?
That sounds like a comic book name. You've only seen him do it once.
Yeah. They.
You know what?
No. Did you catch the ADR?
No.
His mouth was not moving, but he was cackling maniacally.
That's beautiful. I'll
And yeah, it's a precursor to his Joker lab.
I'll give them credit. He is a.
He's running on a bunch of balls on the street, and he's in super speed.
I'll give them credit though. Like, he is a trickster. Like, he is just like playing like mild pranks.
Yeah, he's living up to his name. Absolutely. It's different than the Joker, but in the way that he's living up to that motif. But yeah, I like that he's still menacing.
Because in the 2014 show, he's kind of just Joker, and he's doing that bomb plot.
Yes.
But here, like, he's dumping marbles, and he's being a little trickster.
He is like this character in the 2014 show in that he's so easily jealous, though.
That is true.
You remember where he's like, this other guy is pretending to be me, and that's not the trickster, I'm the trickster.
Yeah, but that was also like a thing that he put on because it ended up being part of his plan.
Oh, that's true.
Because it was his son.
Well, maybe he's just very self-aware.
And he was like, he's my son.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah.
And see, does anyone else think that Hamill's Trickster looks a lot like Jim Carrey's Riddler?
That was what I was gonna mention.
And he moves like him.
Yeah. He's like, and Cap's gonna punch me, but he's like Jim Carrey's Riddler if he was good.
Yeah, I mean, I know we don't agree on this, but he's... But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't looking back at Gorshin in the same way Jim Carrey is.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Detective damsel in distress. Okay, I guess I don't know what's going on. I thought he was under some sort of influence.
The Flash?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's called the booty influence.
Oh. He just loves every woman he sees.
Yeah, it's more of like a...
Look, you're the one that wanted to force him, okay?
Yeah. What happened to your hair?
No, I thought that because, and of course we're talking over it and stuff, but I thought he was under the influence because he was acting wildly out of character, it seemed like.
Yeah, it was because he was talking to a woman.
Okay.
That's what most men are like.
It does that to men, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, men are stupid.
Yeah, women are like drugs. I mean, we've seen the power of women. This was just some guy, and then she went to get payments for his car.
Yeah, exactly. And now he's obsessed with her. Putting her giant picture in his rainbow car. Trying to cut her in half with a chainsaw.
You're under the influence of the Flash.
You know, computer technology has come a long way. Did you see how fast those pictures scrolled?
Yeah, and I love that he hit the computer because that's exactly what I would do. That was very relatable.
Yeah, I like the idea of the Flash dealing with really limited technology going, God, it's moving so slow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to see him like bob his leg up and down super fast because he's waiting.
And then his foot catches on fire again. He's still constantly eating. They're real consistent with all that. Well, no one can take this man seriously. Is that Mark Hamill in disguise?
It's Mark Hamill, and he's disguised as Walter Matthau.
It's Walter Matthau. Okay. Look at his forehead.
He's gonna pull some sort of trick over him.
This is really funny. Well, that guy's just a cartoon character.
What was that surfer music that played? That Sting.
She's got
now
a
it's
big
like sexy
gun.
Music.
Oh, don't turn around. You're gonna see yourself.
That's his Harley Quinn. This is the original Harley.
It's the original Harley Quinn.
And it came from a mannequin.
Yeah, I'm remembering bits and pieces of this. Because I've only seen this one time. Like
Get
I said,
out
when
here! The Trickster put fireworks on the street. It's mildly annoying us.
But he still is dangerous, right?
No, he is, but I love how like silly his tricks are. Like, oh, I'm gonna hang you upside down.
Yeah. Well, I like the idea that he might... Oh, did you see that cut? That was awful.
That was beautiful.
Your secret's safe with me. No, I like the idea that his pranks seem so mild that he might lull you into a false sense of security and then murder you.
Yeah.
I guess the Joker sometimes has that a little bit, but he tends to be more menacing from the outset. Where, like, what's scary about him is sometimes he'll kill you and sometimes he'll just, you know, do something silly to you. But the prankster, like, leads with the silly stuff. Here. Say again?
The big thing is that the Trickster here is way more mundane than the Joker, like, ever is.
You just mean it not being as theatrical?
Yeah, and just being like, I'm gonna dump marbles on the street.
Yeah, he's not larger than life in the same way.
Yeah. No, he's like he mildly inconveniences you with his
and then maybe he'll murder you.
Yeah, because he didn't pay on his car. We better get down there, Barry Allen. I am Walter Matthau.
Now, I don't know if this will turn out to be true, but this does seem like a villain that is just flying by the seat of his pants and doesn't really have a plan.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the only thing he wants is just to get with this woman.
And he's just improvising.
Jesse!
So I guess he let himself be chloroformed so the Trickster wouldn't know he's the Flash?
Well, I just thought he didn't know that it was the Trickster, but...
Well, no, I know, but he's the Flash. He could have moved out of the way of that very quickly. Why did he stand there and let himself get chloroformed?
Because it's a TV show.
He's the Flash. Oh, yeah, that's probably the reason. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, he's got the little surfer thing going on again.
That was a Scooby-Doo mask right there.
It was, yeah. Like Master in Disguise. Master of Disguise. Whatever that movie is.
Could you imagine the Trickster as the big bad for a whole season of something?
Oh my god.
What has he done to her?
He dressed her in a sexy cosplay version of his
own outfit. This is like, so good.
That's like Thanos in Infinity Gauntlet, where you make sexy girl Thanos.
He is like if a 60s Batman villain was scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and this is a 60s Batman death trap all the way.
Well, this is in the animated series, too.
What do you mean?
Well,
oh, yes, the Joker does this, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's in the, what is that episode called? Be a Clown, I think?
Yeah. Oh, and listen, he's got the low-pitched Joker laugh now.
Yep. Yeah, I heard that, too.
But yeah, he turns Batman upside down, he's got him in chains.
He's got a girl wearing his motif.
I don't think that happened. Well, yes, but it's a different situation.
Yeah, no.
This one's kidnapped.
This is more like that classic kind of horror trope.
Yeah, wishing you didn't let yourself get chloroformed now, don't you, Barry Allen?
I'm underwater. I need to vibrate as fast as possible.
I really thought he was gonna vibrate real hard and dry himself off.
Yeah, that should have happened. Ah, come on, you could have had a better one-liner.
Yeah.
What happened to you? I got wet.
How's that better?
I don't know. It's better than I took a dip in the Trickster's whatever.
Aquarium?
Aquarium, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Look.
Yeah, so it's not a straight up romance yet. I really didn't think it was.
He's like, look, babe, I can love many women.
Well, and is there supposed to be like underlying subtext to this with her where
I think so. That was how I read that.
Maybe she doesn't even know that she is kind of falling in love with him.
I think so, because her thing was, she was like, but I was the only one who knew you were the Flash.
Yeah.
Which is one of those that really means, like, but I'm the only one you're supposed to make out with.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, for her, that's the closest to intimacy they've gotten.
Yeah, exactly.
I do not understand this constant change in film quality. Like, what is happening? They are not in the same place at the same time here. It doesn't look. No, because then the film quality is weird with her too. That's so strange.
Well, that was like the reverse TOS, where it was like Vaseline was on the lens when we saw him.
Yeah, it was worse because it didn't look like Vaseline. It looked like a completely different camera.
Yeah, well, it was just super blurry.
Yeah, but the color scheme was different, and they are Bulk and Skull. Wait, does he think his partner is actually the Flash?
Yeah.
I missed that. Okay, all you have to do...
Your secret is safe with me, because he was like dressed up like the Flash, and like I got hung up and then the Flash showed up.
All you have to do is look at his chin under the mask, and you could tell that whoever is actually the Flash is 20 years younger than that guy.
Oh yeah, that guy's old. He's not the Flash.
Yeah, it is though. It's a little bit.
The car you're driving is a domino mask.
It's a little bit of a cartoon. I love this car.
Is there like a thing you can buy of this car?
It's like... No, you should drive this car. That would be very appropriate for you.
I would love to kidnap women in this car. That'd be
my God, stop it. Stop it. You can't say that. You don't say that.
You don't say that.
No, this is like if you had Harley Quinn under duress. This is like Suicide Squad, like Harley Quinn before you've given her electroshock therapy. Like,
what is happening? Why does this guy have a gorilla mask?
But yeah, like he's given her a sidekick name. He is the prankster and she is Prank, which is weird because they would be like if the Joker called Harley Quinn Jokes or something. Why does he have a Jordy visor? What is that costume? Oh, this is unfortunate.
He's wearing an Elvis Flash costume.
This looks like an outfit out of the Patrick Warburton Tick series.
Oh man, I'm gonna find the Trickster. Come on, man.
Meanwhile, at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance,
Elvis is singing Earth Angel.
Do you see the guy playing the upright bass in the back?
Yeah.
He clearly has never played a musical instrument in his life.
What is this party?
There was a Superman back there.
You have female Destro right there. I miss Superman.
Yeah, there was a Superman.
Now we got...
So then, of course, I'm always overthinking this. Elvis. Is that because we're in a universe with Superman, or is Superman a fictional character?
Probably a fictional character.
You don't know, though. You can't know.
This is why Superman dances alone. I mean, he might just actually be Superman.
Oh, there's a bunch of flashes.
Yeah. There's another Jay Garrick helmet. There's Chef Boyardee.
See, I like that we're doing
Mark
the comic
Hamill.
thing where Flash is actually popular and like people like him.
Oh, one guy has like a baseball helmet Flash.
Do you see him now? There's Superman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Oh, hey, Austin, there was Superman. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah. Oh, this is like the Gordon party in the Joker episode. Is it Joker's Favor? The one with the guy that
Did you know that they got half their Joker plots from
this
the
episode?
Flash?
From specifically one episode of the Flash.
Well, hey, there's that.
you just
There's
want
that
me to
episode
open the
trial. They might have gotten that from the trial of the Trickster.
Elvis Flash, you need to open the door for me. Why?
How do you even see through that? Wait. The Trickster actually thought that was the Flash. Is he just a delusional nutbag? Like,
I mean, he's after a woman because he didn't pay his car payments.
Flash needs better one-liners.
Yeah.
His
He should've
one-liners are
said,
not
like,
good.
Hey, Trickster, you're dumb.
Yeah, see, his one-liners are awesome.
Yeah, see?
So I bait the cake. That is just simply the correct response.
Look at the size of that cake, man!
Man.
That's my favorite Hamill Joker line, where he's like, you need to open the door for her. Why? Why can't she do it herself? Look at the size of that cake, man! She can't push it in and open the door at the same time.
That's great. Oh, yeah, where he went through all that just to have that guy open a door?
Yeah, open the
That is
door.
Joker's favor, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, why?
Look at the size of that cake!
Look at the size of that cake, man!
You slime dog!
Flash, you slime!
What? Now we think she's a robot? She's just hung up on how he's the cartoon character. Yeah, your one-liners are not good.
What are you talking about, Flash? What does this have to do with magic?
It doesn't. He's just still hung up on the chainsaw bit at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, true, because he was doing magic.
He was
then.
doing magic at the beginning, yeah.
That's true.
But we're pretty far removed from all that.
That's just Looney Tunes music.
And
Oh,
he said that's all, folks.
There you go.
That's pretty good.
Intentional.
That's pretty good. And it's a Warner Brothers project, you know.
Yeah. Well, the one guy earlier said that he's Bugs Bunny.
We're witnessing a masterpiece here.
This should be taught in film school.
I saw it. Don't tell me it didn't happen. I saw it happen. Because that's not what being fast means. Oh, now it is. now it is the end of Batman Forever.
You moron!
That is the most delusional, psychotic supervillain I've ever seen. He's got such a break from reality. He's not even seeing the same thing scene to scene. Like, oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. Like, your life is weird because you live in this universe.
Now I need to see what their Captain Cold looks like now that
Yeah.
I've seen a Trickster. And somebody in the chat earlier said they did Mirror Master as well.
Yeah, there's a episode title with the word mirror in it, and I figured that must be a Mirror Master
Oh,
thing.
okay.
I don't know if they did any other rogues.
Look, Barry, eventually I'm gonna leave you. No, babe. Kiss me.
Look, you have plenty of other women in your life that all want to sleep with you. So,
Yeah, she's not even the most attractive of them.
Austin. Austin just doesn't like redheads, I think, is what we're learning.
Is she redhead?
She is from...
I think she's got black hair, but like some of the lighting.
You think it's just the lighting?
I think so. But I do have a weird thing with redheads, because like my sister's a redhead, and I think it's like so not a common hair color that when I see other redheads, it just reminds me of my sister.
No, don't say flashette. That's unfortunate.
Oh, and she spanked him.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, she didn't have the right response to that when he was like I kind of like the outfit. She should have been like, I'm tired of this cartoon crap.
I'm tired of this Mickey Mouse bull.
Dude, that was baffling in all the right ways.
That was beautiful.
This show is bizarre.
It's genuinely like artistic, though. I love it.
Okay, well, we might do another one of these on the Flash at some point because Austin's too happy.
Yeah, I want to watch this whole show now.
Well, folks, thanks a bunch for watching another mini marathon with us. What turned into a mini marathon. We're gonna go ahead and get going now, but I will be back. Austin won't be on this one, but I'll be back Sunday night for the how we felt about spoiler cast on the new Spider-Verse movie. So look forward to that. And in the meantime, I was Captain Logan, and this was Austin, the Day Ghost, not to be confused with the Red Ghost.
Oh, true, yeah.
Yeah.
You might be a little confused.
Anyway.
Anyways, yeah.
Bye everybody.
See ya.